Jared Goes to the Movies is a free podcast made possible by Rich's lack of a social life, as well as our amazing supporters. For as little as $1 a month, you can access tons of extra content each week. Visit jaredgoestothemovies.com and click Support Us. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jarrett Reddick, and this is a podcast. Jarrett Goes to the Movies. Hopefully you have seen or heard one of my many musical endeavors. And if you have, then you know how much I love movies. This is movie commentary with no movie knowledge. This podcast is me and my friend Rich talking about movies that we like. But my name's on it because I'm famous. This is Jarrett Goes to the Movies. Still. Okay, we're starting now.
Did we get it?
We got it.
Good percussion. Were you in band?
Got me again on that.
How we doing, guys? Man, it's good to be back. My name is Jarrett. This is Jarrett Goes to the Movies. You guys probably haven't noticed that we've been gone because all of the podcasts, including last week's attempt at this movie, have been so amazingly good that...
I did my best.
Man, what a run we're on. We had like out of the last 8, I was drunk on 2 of them because I played golf, right? Power kept going out on 1. You know, tonight we're starting so late.
When you say drunk on 2, you mean like starting drunk, right?
What? I'm drunk on a lot of these towards the end. Nobody listens to the end of these fucking things anyway.
No, they're too long.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Well, man, holy shit. Has it been a crazy 3 weeks? So you guys don't really realize this, but we've been off for about, I guess, 2.5 weeks.
No, it's been 3 weeks almost exactly.
Has it? I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, the last time we were together was around the 4th of July.
Tomorrow will be 3 weeks exactly.
Okay. So that makes sense. I mean, my God, so much has happened. You know, the Berlin Wall came down. No, with me as always is Rich. Rich, I fucking missed you. I know that's weird. I don't miss you.
I came and saw you at your show.
I didn't miss you as much as I normally do because you can't Facebook message. So you'll text me now.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're in contact.
Yeah.
You know, which is nice. And then my lovely wife Casey is here.
Hello, I'm here.
Silent Sean is here. Hello, Sean.
Yo.
And man, we missed you as well, buddy. And then our special guest today. This is a very special guest for me, guys, because I've known Rob for a very long time. So Rob is here. Rob Filicetti, and he is the guitar player in a band called Patent Pending, who you guys know that Bowling for Soup loves, and we take all over the world and shit. And he also played drums for Gary last year in Bowling for Soup for Warped Tour while Gary was having a baby. And this year he sat in for Eric, who couldn't be on the tour, and as bass player for Bowling for Soup. So he's like 2 summers in Bowling for Soupville. And if you've ever seen the video where the Ataris fire their drummer by throwing a drum set at him.
I know that guy.
That's the drummer right there.
Can we get that from the horse's mouth story?
You can totally get it. I mean, I'm sure have you told it too much that it's not even worth telling it anymore?
You just referenced the YouTube video? You just send the link?
You summed it up pretty good.
I mean, but it is interesting to hear from your perspective. But if that's like just
how did we get to that
here's
point
the thing.
where
He's already been back in the band as a bass player since then.
Okay.
For a short time.
So I'm not sure that you
Did
even
they throw
care.
any of those things at you?
I don't really give a
Like
shit.
the bass guitar?
What's that?
Did they ever throw a bass guitar at you?
No. No one's throwing anything at me. No one's going to throw anything
Except a drum set.
Just that one time.
Yeah.
Everyone gets one pass. And
right.
he used them all up for everybody by throwing a drum set at me.
Yeah, exactly.
And he honestly didn't even throw it at me. The video suggests that he did, but I was way gone by the time he was throwing his little 10-year-old temper tantrum.
Right.
Oh, fighting words right there. It's starting all over again.
Well, that's documented
Then they
too,
did
though.
press conferences.
Yeah, they did press conferences about it and shit.
Yeah, really well done, too.
And I did a reactionary video to their press conferences where I did nunchucks, and it never got put out there.
Weird.
Yeah, But I'm fucking good at nunchucks
I
too.
know.
Like it was a whole goddamn thing.
Are they as lethal in the water?
Oh, you can't do nunchucks in the
Oh,
water.
okay.
That's
Well,
not
how do
even a
you?
thing.
I
Don't be
You're
silly.
confusing me.
Yeah, don't be silly.
All right.
In the water, they become more of a strangulation device.
Ah, got it.
But yeah, you can't like twirl them around. So you could do them over your head, but honestly, if you're in the deep end, you're liable to knock yourself fucking out, and then you're gonna drown. So in
Do
water
you use
karate,
them when the dolphins get rapey?
well, you don't really try to use karate on dolphins. You just try to ignore that they're there. Like,
How do you strangle a dolphin? Like, where's its throat exactly? It's
Well,
kind
you
of like
don't
all
strangle
one
them.
big long throat.
No,
It's on
again,
the top.
again, if a dolphin is trying to get at you, you just ignore it like it's a bee.
Oh,
You know, I mean,
Got
and,
it.
and you go from
No,
there.
dolphins
no, you're
like
supposed to punch
people,
it in
though.
the nose.
Don't
They
They
like
are.
but they like you a lot. Apparently,
they'll like your
that's
leg
a
like
thing.
a dog.
But that's not the. Do they actually try to like stick their nose up your butt or something? Like what's the whole deal with
Is that
like
how you think dolphins mate?
how?
How else would they?
Yeah, what else do they do?
Have you seen those things?
Parts, right?
Do they get ding dongs? They have ding dongs.
They have to somehow. I think they only have things that, like come out.
They swim like so. One of them's got to swim upside down. It's like couple skating. One of you got to swim backwards. Here's the thing: I could never swim back or skate backwards. So if I was going to couple skate with you, you had to be able to skate backwards.
Right.
But most of the boys skated backwards. You know, it was slim pickings. That's what
I've
I'm
never
telling.
skated in my life.
No kidding. Not roller
in my
skating?
town, the girls skate backwards. The guys don't skate backwards.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, it's different. Well, maybe you were above one of the latitude.
I was in
longitude.
Louisiana at the time.
Okay, well that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's some Cajun
We also
shit.
have parishes.
Dolphins
instead of
definitely have a
counties.
penis.
Dolphins have a penis.
Yeah.
How-
Dolphins are self-aware too, so they know what they're doing. It's not
Yeah.
like oh, I'm just acting on instinct. No.
Yeah,
there
it like
should
pops
be-
out like a dog. I think
There
like,
should be charges involved in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
There's
Bowling
some
for Soup-
dolphin testes.
Dolphin court.
We have a Bowling for Soup owns a mini horse. It stays at our my partner Jason.
I've heard this actually.
Yeah, and his name's Sebastian, and that dude just leaves his big horse dick out all the time, and I mean it's
Does he?
oh my god, and I'm surprised it's not calloused from dragging
would-
the ground.
You would get the pervy mini
Wait.
horse.
I was kidding. You actually have a horse?
We have a mini horse, yeah. Bowling for Soup adopted a mini horse, and it lives at Jason and Jaylina's. Jaylina's my new assistant,
Right.
and Jason's my partner in Bandon, Texas.
When you say adopted, it was on the streets?
He
it was in an
basically-
orphanage?
He was essentially
Well, you
like
rescued him. You didn't
we
adopt
rescued him. We rescued him. So
Okay,
we-
so you're paying for its...
I paid $250 basically so that he would be not in an environment that was terrible, and now he lives in a great place. And
Describe
Horse
the
penis
terrible
everywhere.
environment. For
I
a
don't need to
horse.
describe that, but it's just
okay.
not good. But so yes, and
Oak
we pay
Cliff.
for all the food. And
Was it in
He
a
kicked a
pasture with
dog
not
once.
as much grass?
no, it was just like fucking.
Was it in a dark alley?
Yeah, he was living on the streets, like and
Of East
you know,
Plano.
in areas where they actually eat horse. And,
Neighing for food outside
oh
of
my god, he was
outside
just
of a
Didn't
fancy
you ever see The
hotel.
Godfather? We didn't want that happening.
exactly. That's exactly. That's what happened.
But it could have fit in a twin bed.
Well, that's just it. It's a mini horse, so it's not nearly as terrifying. It's just like
Or is it worse?
It's just
Like,
a little weirder, is all.
Yeah. That might be worse.
Dog
actually.
head or puppy head,
It's like
you know?
because your first reaction is not like, "Holy shit, it's a mini horse." It's like there's a really small horse's head. It's like plus you don't know is that a goddamn baby horse?
Well, and then you also don't. Yeah, you don't know if it's an unusually small head for a regular size horse.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's a pygmy. It's a fucking pygmy. It's what's the thing that you get now from mosquito bites and shit?
Zika
The
virus.
Zika, it's a Zika horse. You know,
horse.
like the fucking thing's teeth are all fucked up and shit, and
Is
its
that what
head's
you...
small.
I'm not
No, they're saying if you're pregnant that your babies will come out that way.
Yeah, so like Beetlejuice on Howard Stern.
Yeah.
That's the
He
thing.
had Zika?
That's what I don't know the answer to.
Or
that.
the guy in the waiting room in Beetlejuice who has
yeah,
a
that's
tiny
probably
head.
why they call him that.
Right. I think that is.
Yeah.
I think that is.
No,
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Because they
Yeah.
shrink Beetlejuice's head too in the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The witch doctor.
But I always think of the guy in the waiting room first when I think shrunken heads.
The big
you know?
eyes.
Yeah, it was just
We have so much to talk about, but
We're rambling.
Well, no, I like all of this, but and there's the thing. I was going to bring up so much. I figured you'd want to ask Rob about Warped Tour and
How was Warped
know,
Tour?
well, hold on, but
boy was it great.
Yeah.
That's it.
We actually really did have a great tour. Anybody
Yeah.
that came out to the show, and I will say this: we did 3 one-offs. So Warped Tour took a few days off, and Bowling for Soup, as you know, doesn't take days off. So we played shows: Little Rock, Nashville, and Columbus. And at each of those no, did I say Nashville? Asheville.
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 I thought you said Asheville.
Yeah. So At each of those shows, at the meet and greets, Jarrett Goes to the Movies t-shirts,
Oh wow.
each of them. And
One or
no, multiple.
Okay.
But at
2.
so in Columbus, we had there was Katie Morgan. Got to say hello to her face to face, which was great.
Awesome.
Eddie,
Did you give her a place to feed her baby?
she didn't need to do it. She pumped it home.
No.
Eddie Weiss, we met.
Yep.
Dave and Lindsay Murray were there.
Of course, backstage.
They did get backstage, actually. Yeah, that did happen. They're the only ones, though. And then we did go, and then Wendy Croft was there. Totally tried to fucking sabotage my whole goddamn acoustic set.
You texted.
Yeah, she just laughed uncontrollably through this whole fucking thing that I'm doing, and I'm playing Turbulence, and she's just dying laughing, and then after that, and then I go, and then I'm trying to be funny. I'm like, I could have you escorted out, but not everybody else gets the joke. They think I'm fucking serious, She blames the whole thing on Eddie. Then her friend, when Wendy brought the friend that was on Five Questions,
Right,
when they were in Vegas or whatever.
With the weird name.
Friend probably thinks I'm a fucking asshole because I was just kidding around or whatever, but
Right.
I really wasn't going to kick around with it. Anyway, we went out, had a beer with them afterwards, me and Rob and Gary, and we were with some radio people from NCI. And anyway, so much to talk about, so many things happening. We'll get to it over the next couple of weeks. But I'm curious about this. So what happened with this Rick and Morty thing with the guy getting in trouble?
Okay, so that's an offshoot. So James Gunn got in trouble. So James Gunn, who did the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Okay. By did you mean what?
Director.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Yep.
And he was slated to take over the entire Marvel universe.
The
as
cinematic universe.
Yeah, cinematic universe.
Wow.
So he was going to be in charge of making sure that all of the movies are cohesive, like they've been up until now, and it's been amazing, right? Up until now. So they were basically grooming him to slide in and take over that part, but some, and I'll say it, right wingers busted him for a lot of pedophilia.
Well, it doesn't matter if they're right.
They found old tweets about
Yeah.
pedophilia and molestation where he made jokes referencing
He made
it.
jokes.
Like
Okay.
South Parky jokes.
But
that's where I was going to go.
but
That is exactly where I was headed.
Pedophile. I mean, I've read a ton of them.
I thought
Okay.
the right,
And then
I thought
he
the
went-
right wingers were for that.
For pedophiles?
Let's
think
get off.
anyone's
Let's
for it.
get off the
That's
right
not-
and the left shit.
Okay, so anyway,
so he basically
so
they dug
Disney
up
fired him.
some shit.
Disney
Okay.
fired him from
For some tweets that he did back in the day.
from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which
Right.
he was in the middle of making.
Got it.
And then now not also going to be the head of the thing. So that was kind of a big deal. And now there's a lot of that searching through old tweets looking for pedophilia stuff.
But here's the thing: he was doing it from a comedy
But
aspect.
we know that that's a problem in Hollywood, right? I mean, we know that
Hold on, wait.
in the past, pedophilia is
100%.
Okay.
But let's back up a smidge.
It's a problem everywhere.
When Twitter first came out, it basically what it was.
There's no other industry
Hold on.
where pedophilia is a problem in the industry.
Well,
That's the difference.
maybe in the priesthood. I mean, I don't
yeah,
know.
oh, yeah, I
Jesus
agree.
Christ.
That's
Okay, so hang on just a second. So less about pedophilia and more about these tweets, all right? So when Twitter first came out, it was just basically, I believe what it used to say was like, what are you doing? Or something like that. And you would just basically, you had 150 characters and you'd say what you did. So these comedians started getting on there. And comedians literally made careers by getting on there with these funny one-liners. And
Right.
you had people like Jenny Johnson and Patton Oswalt and people who were literally writing their comedy by seeing how people reacted to tweets.
right.
So it made other people, I think, in pretty much all industries, go out there and just start saying some outlandish shit. Obviously,
It was
there's
all
been
shock value
There's
shit.
been recourse stuff. If you don't know the Gilbert Gottfried story, he made a tweet after the tsunami hit Japan or whatever. He's actually married to an Asian woman. Obviously, it wasn't meant to be anything but a joke. But he's no longer the Affleck duck.
Right.
Right. So, where the reason why I found this interesting whenever we started talking about this earlier, and I'm not sure why Rick and Morty, why is that even part of this? It's because I should make a disclaimer.
I think that's kind of crappy. He had an old show called Daryl that they drudged up and found some references that could possibly be. I think that's more of just a. It's like if you make a joke and it's a pedophilia. I mean, I've made a young child sex joke before.
Sure.
I don't make young child sex jokes all the time.
No.
If I'm always making young child sex jokes to you, it's probably because I'm trying to normalize young child's text.
All right, so we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. I mean, I feel like what you're saying is that like if I just only made racist jokes all the time, I'd be trying to blur the water as far as like me being a racist. Obviously, I'm not a racist. Have I made racist jokes? Of course. Do I make fat jokes about myself? Of course. You know what I mean? It's like, again, it goes back to your boy, Joe, what's his face?
Rogan.
Who says, you know, Bob Marley didn't really shoot the sheriff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, Steve Miller didn't fucking take the money and run. You know,
Right.
but so this backtracking and going back to what was politically correct then and what's politically correct now, and then holding people accountable for the difference is dangerous. It's fucking dangerous, man. I'm telling you, man, that is fucked up. Because I was watching a episode of $100,000 Pyramid was on the bus because we just leave it on the Game Show Network. True story. This is a fucking true story, and I'm telling you exactly the way that it happened. The star was trying to get the guy to say he was giving him clues, and he was saying topping, potatoes, yada yada. They got stuck on the first one. They never got past it, right? Dick Clark comes over to the side. Do you remember how he used to lean up against the thing and he'd try to save the day and give him the thing?
Right.
He says, slaves back in the day, things that are whipped. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Now that's fucked up. Right?
Yeah.
40 years ago. But
Right.
and that is, I mean, completely and I was like, holy shit. Like, I actually couldn't believe that it would make it past. I mean, you would think that there would be...
Yeah, because it's pre-taped.
You get... No, 50, 60 fucking years ago.
Right.
50 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm sitting there thinking, why... holy shit, you could never say that now.
No.
Secondly, like, shouldn't there be a guy who like watches all these old episodes and just makes sure? Because that guy that used to host the Family Feud was touching people's tits and shit, you know. Anyway, my
Richard
point
Dawson.
is, I just think no matter, I'm sure the guy, whatever, I'm sure it is what it is, but I think just goddamn, that's fucking terrifying for anybody.
He does have I'm looking at him. He did have a bunch.
Right?
There's
That's
like
what
a bunch.
And once he got busted and fired, he went personally and deleted 10,000 of his own tweets.
Jesus
Well, he
Christ.
probably deleted like from a point back, right?
So
But-
what you're saying is that it wasn't a point of like comedy and things like
No.
that, and you know, and
And
I
some
get
of them,
that.
some of them were like a little bit more like, man, that's kind of a stretch.
Yeah,
But
some
some of them
were-
were pretty fucking direct.
The first
Like-
thing that I thought of was South Park, where like the whole NAMBLA thing and all of that.
Exactly,
shit,
and people are going back in, and that's like one of the main defenses. People are like, well,
Yeah.
everyone watches South Park, and they joke openly about
Right.
this stuff all the time.
Yeah, and it's like, because you know, Casey and I love offensive comics, like Anthony Jeselnik, obviously.
It's funny because someone tried to lump Jeselnik in there, and he goes, scrolling through my tweets trying to look for the offensive ones is like looking for a needle in a needle stack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's
everyone's like, you're barking up the wrong tree with this one.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Sometimes it's he's joking.
Yeah.
And I get that. And maybe we didn't know that this other guy was joking, and what you're saying is, I'm just saying that, like, man, that's fucking crazy. Because, again, the first thing I thought of whenever you said that was...
But you
Holy
look at Jeselnik and go, dude, that guy's slaying pussy left and right. You look at this guy and you're going, I think he probably is.
I thought more like South Park, though. I really did. I think, you know, but again, I guess, you know, some people can get away with that kind of thing and some people can't. And maybe it's context, and maybe it's how you live your life. And if he's getting busted for it, maybe.
Look, I don't
Where
think,
there is smoke, there is fire.
here's the
all
problem.
the time.
Here's the problem. I don't think he should be fired for making offensive tweets like that. But the problem is, we know that shit is going on in Hollywood and no one's doing anything about it.
Sure.
It's so like he should be able to joke all he wants, but if someone sees or knows about that, someone should come forward, and that's just not happening.
It's like that in society.
Well, these were.
though.
I mean, how long ago is this? Like the tweets they found, like 8 years ago or something.
So again, back to the beginning of Twitter.
It wasn't as topical as it is now.
And news anchors didn't put their fucking Twitter addresses at the bottom of the screen while they were doing their cameos. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't that.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. I mean, I can see both sides of things. I don't think it's right and left. If you want it to be right and left, then it's one of those things where you're
that's what the media are saying, that the right is going after.
But if the right was saying, you can't say this shit, I don't care how long ago it was, you're in a position of power, then clearly that's not true because our president's talking about grabbing pussies.
The thing about that is, though,
then the other way around, I instinctively want to go, well, maybe it wasn't that big of a deal, but then I'm also like, well, our president's talking about grabbing pussies. You kind of both ways are wrong.
No. And again, this is just for the sake of conversation, and I'm obviously, dude, again, I do really believe that
don't molest children. Where there's, what we're getting at.
That's the whole fucking thing. And where there is smoke, there is almost always fire. That's a fucking given. All that shit. And I do think that the thing that I worry about, and I'll close with this, and then if you'd like to close, the thing that I worry about the most is that we'll get so. Obviously, you're coming at this from a thing of like we've got to, God, this is too rampant in Hollywood and yada. I think it's too rampant in society. Pedophilia or whatever. So let's figure it out if you see something to say so. But I worry about jokes. I worry about comedy. I worry about people starting like someone like Anthony Jeselnik, and I don't think it'll happen. But I worry about him being scared to tell a joke that, is a fucking killer joke that would make him a living and allow me to laugh and allow, and maybe laugh at something that's really uncomfortable. But the reason why you go to him is because he shocks you. Just like the reason in the 80s you fucking watched Eddie Murphy do a bit on the honeymooners fucking each other in the ass out the window. That was shocking. Norton, come on down. I gotta show you something. I'm gonna bend over, and when I do, start fucking. Like, that's a fucking whole Eddie Murphy bit that we as children used to repeat all the time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. I fucking worry. I worry about.
There's articles like on
shit.
HuffPo and I think it was Independent UK where they're obviously trying to normalize man-child love.
That's insanity. That's not even what I'm saying.
I know, but they're coming to the defense of these guys in that sort of a way.
That.
Yeah, I agree.
No. That's
you
not
mess
what
with
I'm
a kid, you can die for
Agreed.
all I care.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Because if I hear about a kid
right.
being messed with, that's as good as it being my kid. Fuck you. I hope you burn in hell.
Totally agree. 100%.
I'll set you on fire. I'll watch you burn. You deserve whatever comes to you. And I hope it's fucking terrible.
In the asshole and the mouth.
All of it. All of the, like, fucking seriously, in the ear. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and just...
You're not even supposed to put, like, a Q-tip in there.
Exactly.
I know. I get
It's
scared.
damaging.
I don't.
I
the
just
scared
get
thing.
it in there.
Oh man, I do too. I just get
Really?
in there and.
I get scared. I am so worried I'm going to hit something because I can barely hear as it is.
Rob, how's the podcast going so far?
Weird.
Weird.
I thought we were going to talk about Mission Impossible.
Yeah, we edit all this out.
I miss the semen in my butt.
All right, so I do need to point out that you're listening to Jared Goes to the Movies. This is a Matt Cardosi and Daniel Cotton production. Now, I got to see both of them on the Warped Tour. Daniel Cotton came out for a couple of days, rode the bus, and got super hammered the last day and got some shit stacked on him. That's on the internet. And Matt Cardosi came out for 2 shows, hung out, got to hang out with the gang, got to meet Rob, got to meet everybody. So I want to thank our producers, our corporate VPs, for being awesome and showing up to the shows. Thanks for supporting the people who work hard for you. Our new supporters are from our Patreon page. Go to Jarrett Goes to the Movies and click on Support Us, or just go to Patreon and search Jarrett Goes to the Movies. That's how we make this magical podcast that you're listening to happen. Our new supporters do include Bill Russell at the $1 level. Every week he gets all the outtakes from that week. Brandon Miller, who is a new $5 supporter, as well as Adam Sparks, who now those 2 dudes get all the archive of bonus material. So if you just heard part of that conversation, there's probably a shitload more that you're going to want to go and grab. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
If not, fuck it. Brian Mason, as a new $20 supporter, means that he is now an executive producer. And at the $10 level, which he passed, he also gets to be on our monthly Skype chat, which is a lot of fun. Our executive producers do include Wendy Croft, David Murray. Both I got to see on the Warp Tour. Sheila Ray Wonder, David Dooley, Matt Cardosi, Rodon James, Nigel Watson, Chris Black Magic Whitehead, Lucy Murray, Daniel Cotton, Jared Spear, Diane Small, Lisa Winsel, John Gickler, Katie Morgan, who I also saw on the Warp Tour, Shawnee Mae Griffiths, Greg Pascal, Mark Ryan, Tyler J. McCullough, Sweethurst, Josh Millman, Jason Randall, Mike Breton, Chris Jacobs, Brian Dunning, Paul Baums, Amy Pitzinger, who came to the rescue yesterday. My first day back, and I'm just like, all I want is for somebody to invite me to a pool. And she came through, and we went over there, and I peed all in that pool. Jason Wall, Bodie Cooper, Kirsty Fisher, Dominic Petretta, Woody Chambers, who you will hear from later on in the broadcast, Simone Vark, who did not quit the podcast, Tess Green, Michael Price, and Brian Mason. Let's talk about the movie Mission Impossible. It came out in 1996, and here's the deal. An American agent under false suspicion of disloyalty must discover and expose the real spy without the help of his organization. Pretty fucking good synopsis. A little bit wordy. I like it, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, Tom Cruise is in this. Emmanuel Bert.
Are you going cast?
Well, no, I'm just saying, because there's no cast thing on here.
Oh,
so
I forgot cast. That's right.
That's fine. And Henry's Ernie.
John Boyd.
Yeah, John Boyd or whatever.
They're all
in this.
Bing Rames.
All right. Yeah, right.
Over to Rich for his alternative synopsis.
Mission Impossible. Ethan Hunt, who is a U.S. government agent for the Impossible Missions Force. Did everybody know that that's what that stood for?
Yep.
That's stupid. Tracks down a double agent / mentor by running, jumping, hanging. He did some clinging, I think.
With the things.
But most importantly, by emailing.
For the first time ever on screen, email happened. It is the greatest dial-up of all time.
Okay, here's my question.
Yeah.
How many movies are there so far? Or will be?
Huh?
How many movies are there?
Ever?
Six?
In this thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's the sixth one's coming out.
When's he going to give up? Because it's fucking impossible.
Why would they call the elite agency Impossible Missions Force?
To give it, you gotta give it some gas. It's to let them know this is tough shit that you're getting into.
Why wouldn't you call it the Tough Missions Force?
Because you really got to drive that one home, right?
Because if they're impossible, you really can't do them.
It's like maybe it's that sort of thing where people like a challenge.
Like maybe it should have been the SIMF.
I think the whole point
Seemingly
is that
Impossible Missions Force.
yeah, that's pretty fucking good, actually. Yeah, like seemingly impossible missions is pretty damn good. Seemingly impossible missions. Sim. They'd just be the
I
Sims.
thought it was the Force.
Oh, I don't know, but Sims, that fucking came out right after they got email. That was a thing. You used to build a city, plant a garden and
No,
shit.
you just made the people have sex. That's it.
You just walked away from your computer. The next
about-
thing you came over, they fucking built a farm.
What about
Unbelievable.
non-actionable missions bureau league agency?
This is terrible.
NAMBLA.
All right, well, show's fucking off the air now. Jesus Christ.
It is this half which Galitzin plans to steal from the embassy during a reception tomorrow night. Your mission, Jim, should you choose to accept it, is to obtain photographic proof of the theft, shadow Galitzin to his buyer, and apprehend them both. I've already dispatched a team selected from your usual group. Sarah Davies is already undercover. Jack Harmon can hack into any security system. Hannah Williams will handle surveillance. Your wife, Claire, will cover transport. And Ethan Hunt will be your point man, as usual. He is now in Kiev and will rendezvous in Prague at a safe house of your choosing. As always, should you or any member of your IM force be caught or killed, the Secretary will disavow all knowledge of your actions. This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim.
We didn't talk about the theme song, which is one of the greatest theme songs ever in a TV show.
Yeah, it's so...
I think this movie got made because the theme song is so strong.
I think you're definitely right. Because
5 times?
I didn't even know what Mission Impossible was.
Well, so the movie's kind of like a sequel to the series.
This movie felt like the TV series.
Yeah, but the dude, John Voight, and the other guy who you think is bad, but kinda is, and then isn't, but then he is. Those are like 2 of the guys from the show.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So the show that takes place, it like bases around like 5 of them doing just shit like that.
Are you saying John Voight was on the TV show?
Not John Voight, his character.
His character.
Jim
Yeah.
Phelps. Yeah, Jim Phelps.
Yeah. He's the Leslie Nielsen looking guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, and I don't know who plays who on that show. I just know that
I thought Ethan Hunt was on it too. He's the guy that does all the
Yeah, obviously they referred to that. How many different passports does he have, and how many different? What the fuck am I trying to?
So
think
you never
of?
saw the TV show?
No, I'm gonna be honest. I had no idea what the fuck any of this was until the game Spy Hunter, and even then, just dunk dunk dun dun dunk dunk dun.
I didn't know that song was in that video game.
Yeah,
I didn't remember anyway.
And so no, I didn't know what. And then I remember on Commodore 64 we had a game called Impossible Mission, and I heard about Mission Impossible later. But no, I had no idea of any of this shit until this got remade.
So I mean, I didn't watch it religiously or anything, but I definitely saw a bunch of episodes. And the big thing was it was always, you didn't realize it, but one of the characters that's going through and doing the stuff is, and he pulls off the mask. And it's one of the spy guys, but they always they don't really always tell you that it's going to be he's going to dress up like that character.
Yeah, they did that in this movie,
Right,
where
with
he becomes Jim or whatever. But
yeah, they set that up like right at the beginning, from a movie point to be like, hey, he does this shit when he like rips the stupid face off.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's just it. He's like, how many identities does this guy have? Who can he be? And you see him putting like the masks in his fucking.
Yeah, I like the one where he like goes to the fancy party and he dresses like Kate McKinnon, dressed as Jeff Sessions.
The best on that one is that one comes up in a minute, but the best on that is when he's on the talk show and it just doesn't even not look like Tom Cruise in some terrible fucking Ross Perot
Play the
makeup.
clip because I got
Ross Perot. I want to fucking figure this out. At first, like, so here's what happened. So this movie starts out. First of all, I'm like, God damn, he is young or whatever.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me.
Yeah, and then they
because he looks young now,
right?
And I just think he just always looks that way, but he really looked young.
Then they got into that room and they're meeting for the first time, and everybody's doing all this back and forth shit, right? And
about coffee,
and about the coffee, and
what do you think I've been doing all day?
Well, and he's just like, just the deal, like. Oh, you're at the Drake in Chicago, and he goes with 24-hour room service, and then Tom Cruise is like and chauffeured limos and whatever, and I'm just and I'm like looking, I'm going, how fucking old is this movie? Like that, it
seemed 80s.
It got aged quick, really, really fast, like right at the beginning.
Yeah,
and so then Rob said something later in the movie where he goes. Okay, did you guys realize like how 70s it kind of seemed, at the first of the movie, like 3/4 of the way?
Up until they get to Langley.
Yeah, but then I'm like, now fuck it. It's just terrible. Like it's just written out of its fucking, out of the year that it's in.
Right.
And it's just the dialogue's bad.
Yeah.
I mean like, when we get to Ving Rhames, I'm never eating at Arby's again. Ever. Like I've been saying, he's in my fucking favorite movie of all time, and I think he's terrible in that.
Is he the Arby's spokesman or something?
Yeah. Arby's. We have the beef. And he's the ADT guy, too.
Yeah.
Like, right. Jesus Christ. He's like the spokesperson for all the shit that I have. And, like, I can't go to Arby's, though, because my family doesn't like Arby's. So.
I like Arby's.
I love Arby's.
What? You like Arby's?
Yeah.
Why don't we go to fucking Arby's?
I'm calling it
We
in.
always have kids with us.
Oh yeah, they fucking hate Arby's.
Why?
They're
They
fucking
got curly fries.
little shitheads.
They have hot dogs.
If he has a car waiting and he rolls, you stay with him no matter what. You should take the afternoon and drive the streets around this little quarter. They're confusing as hell.
What do you think I've been doing all morning?
We're using Waltzer?
Learning English.
He's our guy.
Isn't he chairing the armed services hearing?
Not this week. This week he's fly fishing at the Ouderard Slough in County Kildare with one of our best Irish guides.
Yeah, and he won't be back anytime soon.
Unbelievable.
Best or unconstitutional at worst. With all due respect, Senator, it sounds as if you want to lead the kind of charge that Senator Frank Church led in the 1970s,
That's the best actor
and
in
in
the
the
movie.
process destroy the intelligence capability of this country.
Now, I want to know who these people are.
It's like the dude from the Six Flags commercials.
Yes.
My check.
Oh my god, it's so bad. That disguise is so fucking terrible.
I
I'm
was gonna say, like,
surprised.
if I ever see anybody like that anywhere in the world wearing like that, looks like that,
rip their face
I
off.
just immediately assume it's Johnny Knoxville. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly. You do have to think. And here's the thing: in this scene, it's Angelina Jolie's dad doing a Christopher Walken impression, like the whole time.
Yeah.
He's just like, and then he's gonna be at the senator's gonna be at the. I can't do Christopher Walken, obviously. I can't do John Voight. I can't do Angelina Jolie. You know what I
No,
mean?
you
Like,
can't.
Jesus.
I'm
Christ.
surprised that Tom Cruise didn't play John Voight's part just so that he could have the reveal at the end be actually him wearing the makeup.
Just the whole time.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
why did they do that? It looked terrible.
It looked
terrible.
terrible. Now this,
But
part-
they pulled it off on John Voight at the end. It looked good.
That was like a mid '90s CGI move. I don't know if you noticed that because he's in the dark. They would do that then.
Oh, okay.
So like Jurassic Park, like all the dinosaurs and stuff. Most of the time that they're doing all CGI shit, it's like because they're
It's
in the
at
rain
night.
and the dark and stuff. So then they would try and mask that stuff rather than now where they're like, oh, just everything all the time.
Yeah.
So if you notice, the time that he pulls that off, he's like in the dark
Well, they could have
storage car.
done the dark pull off during the senator too. It just looked. It was so obvious.
The first time he pulls it off when he's in the hotel room or whatever, because you figure out who he is on the black and white screen.
Well,
or
that's
whatever.
fine because we haven't seen who the character's supposed to look like.
Right.
They do it quick enough.
Yeah.
So it's like you're like,
And
oh,
it's
that's
on
silly.
and that's on a shitty TV
Right.
CRT little.
I watched
monitor.
that movie today, and I watched the clip today, and I still didn't watch it. I looked at it and zoned out, and I don't even know what happened. I have no idea what actually happened in the first scene of this movie. Still,
It's just
or
setting
why
up
that
like
lady
who
looks
they
so
are.
sleepy in fake blood.
And then I love this the amazingness of their radio contact. You know, like. Like that existed in '96.
It doesn't exist
like,
now.
So clear, where it's just like, okay, we're on this frequency, whatever, and they're just mic'd all the time, and he can hear them, but he has to press a button. And poor Emilio Estevez is just dodging elevators.
Hey,
and
so
shit.
what I noticed in the movie about web browsers, and they do this in a lot of movies and TV shows, is they make these stupid sounds every time anyone clicks something that never happened in real life.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Like you don't know that they're actually
right.
making any action on the actual, like, you know, minimizing screens or downloading.
most
It's
of
always like a
those noises.
sound.
I think because I'm on the computer all day long for my job, and I was like, if I had to hear that fucking noise,
Yeah.
every time
It'd be
I
unbelievable.
did
Every time you did anything.
beep, 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 I would fucking throw the computer out the window.
You
don't
definitely
work
know
for the
though.
IMF.
You definitely know by watching this one that email was new, because even
The
just
address. Did you see the email address?
Yeah,
It was like
just fuck it.
at Job 314.
Exactly, it's fucking stupid. Like everybody's got their own domain name and shit.
They didn't understand like what at was.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the 90s is the worst for movie technology because in the 80s and the 70s there really wasn't anything, and
No.
they just had to just make shit up
Exactly.
and use their imagination.
You just believe it.
But in the 90s, they're like, oh, we've got AOL and CompuServe, so we'll just use that. But
That's what I've always loved
it's-
about.
it doesn't hold up well. It just is terrible.
That's what I've loved
looking.
about like the original Star Wars trilogy is they sidestepped everything.
Yeah.
Like they didn't. No one ever even wrote anything down. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they sidestepped anything that would be like conventional, sort of like versions of technology. Like spaceships just flew and like
Just flew.
shit just happened. Like there was no like
It's like
science to it. They just like shit just happened.
It's
like
That is
cars
true.
now. We don't get in the car and then like talk about how the cars go.
Yeah.
And all that. We just get in the car and drive.
Drive, right.
So if someone from the 1800s
Yeah.
or watching a movie about us driving around the car, we'd just be driving the car.
It would just happen. There would be
Right.
no explanation of internal
Exactly.
combustion.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
would just sort of happen.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Agreed.
Very true.
I rule.
Hey,
Jack, what are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
I don't have control, Jack.
Then I got a problem.
Cut the power. Cut the power, Jack. Come on, Jack. Cut the power. Jack. Jack.
He took that like a man. He just looked at that stabby thing and just stared at it and just took it right in the face. Didn't dodge it. Didn't move 2 inches to the left or the right.
That's what I was
He
thinking.
didn't
Though.
duck.
Earlier on, he was like hiding along the side of the elevator when it went by him. Why didn't he think to at least try that?
Yeah.
It would have
Scramble.
behooved him to do so because
Nope,
he would have
just
died.
Stare at that
Worst
motherfucker.
case
Too
and
much
go,
fucking
"Fuck you."
elevator play.
Yeah,
Fuck
I was
you,
not.
elevator.
I did not expect that. I will say, I was like, okay, that's kind of like
For-
hardcore
for it
this-
to impale
for
him
this
in the
really
face.
Fucking boring movie. Like,
Yeah.
No,
we-
that's very 90s though. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean when I say that? Like that's
Totally.
a very 90s movie death. Like, oh my god, it's like so gross in like 1 second of it. Like that's how that always happens.
It was a
then.
very morbid death for a non-slasher movie.
But it's that
Right?
movie's
yeah,
got to
like
have
zombie.
it's got
movie.
it's supposed to be about like raising the stakes and like shit's serious.
getting real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was very morbid. The stab in the face thing was a little over the top. I was like, is this for this movie?
I don't know. I'd say it fits because one of the other movies, a dude's head gets cut off on like a train thing or something,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah,
What's
that does happen.
Yeah. So I mean, it's I don't
What's
know.
in the box?
Okay. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
So a lot of shit happens here. Obviously a bunch of shit that, basically everybody's running around and nobody knows where anybody is and communication's fucked up. and-
Installing stabby things at the top of elevators.
Right.
It seems very elaborate.
Exactly.
And heavy.
Agreed. Yeah, it's like an upside down like fucking sculpture that should have been in the lobby.
Yeah, I don't know that that's how elevators work. Do they have giant?
No, they
kill
don't have
spikes
stabby
at the
things
top?
at the
No?
top.
All right.
That's a custom installation.
Also, they don't go all the way to the top so that you can climb on top of it and service it.
Yeah.
Like what a hooker does. So
Hey-ho!
So here's the thing. So he said abort, right? He's saying abort. So I started thinking about this. Tom Cruise fucking in any movies, he never obeys orders. That motherfucker has
any
there's
movies.
a pattern.
Yeah.
Can I do a flyby?
The pattern's
No.
full.
He does a flyby. You know what I mean? Can we do this? No. Are you going to abort? No, I'm not going to do this. It's like, this fucking Tom Cruise is crazy.
He represents our inner rebel.
Yeah, even in fucking Taps, when he plays Sean, the Red
How
Beret.
do you get so far up into a position while not obeying?
He's not high up.
Well, I mean,
He's the last one that's listed.
He's in the
Yep.
IMF, which is
Sure.
the elite. I
Yeah,
mean,
but he's got a skill. He's got a skill that they need.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they don't fill out an application and then just get straight into the IMF. I mean, he had to do a lot of things great to get there, and I would assume that disobeying orders was not one of those things.
The one thing that I knew at this point of the movie was that Angelina Jolie's dad was going to die.
You mean 5 seconds before the end, or at 5 seconds before the end?
No, regardless
like
of
right
when,
now,
at
I'm just
some
like,
point.
that dude's dying in this movie for sure.
Central Europe unsecured.
Designator.
Bravo, Echo 1-1.
Switching. This is Kittredge.
Go secure.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Ethan Hunt. They're dead.
Wait, who's dead?
My team is
please.
dead! Galitzin's gone. They knew we were coming, man. They knew we were coming, and the disc is gone.
Are you intact?
The disc is gone. Do you read me? The list is in the open!
Listen, I read you. Let's just bring you in safely, then we'll worry about that, okay? Were you followed?
Did you take your meds?
I don't think. Be sure. Are you clean? Okay, location green, 1 hour. I'll be there myself.
You're in Prague?
1 hour.
I actually have a little bit of experience with this delivery here.
Oh.
But I was on the other side of it.
Oh.
So he calls up and he's like, first of all, like, Bravo Apple 1-1 is just, God, that's fucking simple. Like, why did he have trouble thinking about that? Like,
Why did he have to look
I
up?
thought, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. I mean, I get he's in distress. Bunch of people died. So he.
Well, his other one is Bravo Apple 22.
Shit. That was fucking hard to remember. So, anyway, he gets him on the phone, says, this is Ethan Hawke, and they're dead, is his first thing, right?
Ethan Seriously, context.
So I've been on the receiving end of this thing via text message, right?
They're dead?
No, it's...
So one day,
Oh, man.
I'm in bed, right?
My whole team was killed.
I get, my phone starts ringing, but it starts ringing at like 6 a.m. And at the time, my grandmother wasn't doing that great health-wise. And so my mom called me, and I think I tried to answer, and it like went dead. And then my aunt called me like right after, and I was just like, I'm not fucking answering this. Like, I can't do this right now. Like, I just knew what was about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew I'm going to answer the phone. My grandma's going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that,
Right.
you know? And so Casey's like, you've got to answer the phone. Like,
You need a minute?
you've got to. No, I'm good.
Okay.
He's like, you've got to. I'm not crying. I'm trying not to laugh. It looks the same.
Right.
So Casey's like, well, you've got to answer the phone. They're obviously trying to get a hold of you. Listen, give me 20 minutes to sit here and just not know, and let me figure this out, you know? And so I did, and she did. And, you know, we laid there, and it was early, and we were just, you know.
You have sex?
No. Yes.
Promise.
I'm like, I don't remember. Maybe.
So I get a text from my mom, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And Casey at that point had got up and gone to the bathroom. And I open up the text.
And I'm in the bathroom, like, checking my text messages from his mom, thinking I need to call her or something.
And I just start, and this is so insensitive.
It is very.
But I couldn't help. I just died laughing.
All I hear is, like, some noises from the bedroom. I'm like, oh, fuck, he's, like, probably really upset.
And and again, I don't, this is fucked up.
And I feel like it's not going to come over as funny as, like, the way
It's
that we
not
think it is.
going to come over as funny because you just need to know my mom. But I just got a text and it just said, Greg's dead.
Period.
That's it.
Who's Greg?
Yeah.
But how did she say it?
How did what?
How did your mom say it?
Oh, she said, hey, baby. Well, in her word, if I'd have answered the phone, hey, baby, it's Mama. Greg's dead.
Period.
So I'm not trying to make a goof out of this because it was my Uncle Greg, and Galen, my aunt, had called. And
Oh, the no dog guy?
No, that was like
no,
an old
that's my brother-in-law who's not really my brother-in-law
Oh,
now.
that's right.
Yeah, I'm not related to any of those
Oh,
people.
we can make jokes about him
We
all
can do
the time.
whatever
Yeah.
the fuck we want now.
But it's just knowing your mom, like that delivery, just like Greg's dead. Like
It was
after
just
the 6 a.m. phone call.
But
like,
I had just spent
she could have relayed
20
that
to
message
30
later.
minutes thinking that my grandmother was dead. But it turns out my uncle had died. I'm not close with him, and and it is sad. And he had a daughter and a wife, obviously, and a whole thing. But that's what I got. Greg's dead. No, like, hey, they found Greg this morning, and yada yada, blah blah
I
blah.
have some
blah.
bad news.
Yeah, something like
Your
that.
Uncle
Greg's
Greg
dead.
passed on.
Something. Just Greg's dead. So as soon as he said they're dead, I'm just like, yeah, I've been on the receiving end of this call before.
Yeah, throw me some details or like.
I don't mean to be insensitive, but
That's where we
At least
were
he
going.
said Greg and not he's dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Jesus
he goes with a
Christ.
pronoun here, so you got like at least who it was. You had an identifier.
I will be honest, it took me a minute to figure it out, which is terrible.
Greg who?
But yeah, I was just like,
Well, you also didn't have the title, so don't beat yourself up about that.
Yeah.
It didn't say Uncle.
yeah,
Greg, you know?
exactly.
As a matter of fact, it would have thrown me for a loop if I didn't get the
and I
title
am not
first.
in any way making light of any of this.
Excuse me for not being formal, Jared.
Yeah. Hey, baby, it's Mama. I'm sorry I said Greg's dead, but he's dead.
But
Bing, bong, bing. Hello, hello. What a fucking clusterfuck tonight's been. We've been sitting in here for 2 fucking hours. We really have. All right. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Absolutely. Lucy, we can hear you. Woody, we can hear you. So we'll just get right into this, guys. How about that? Now, so we're talking about the movie Mission Impossible. Lucy, were you able to watch the movie?
No.
God.
I did read a synopsis, like a very in-depth one, but I have never seen a Tom Cruise movie, and I didn't want to make this the first time.
Oh, my God.
So she didn't watch on principle.
She did not watch.
So she's like me.
She basically, basically, Casey didn't watch this movie either. She was in the room.
No, I did watch it, but I don't watch Tom Cruise movies. Like
Yeah.
I've gotten away with like skipping some on here, but
Now, Woody, did you watch the movie?
I did.
Okay.
Seen it a lot.
Woody did his homework.
And drove across country.
Basically, here's what happened. Woody studied for the test.
Right.
Lucy read the Cliff Notes. I'm going to be honest. Woody has a very big advantage. Woody, obviously, there's many, many things about this movie that we'll all never forget. Do you have a favorite scene in the movie or a favorite quote?
Yeah, I didn't like it that much.
Same. All right. So let's just get into it. It's a competition. It's a game. We like to call this 5 questions. It's where we ask you 6 questions. The high score used to be 7, but Will quit the show, so the high score is now 6.
that does not sound as cool.
What do you mean?
Leave off that last part. We can all do math. It's fine.
No, I like that part.
No, I mean, like, stop it at the will part. Don't go and then now it's 6 or whatever. It has a better ring to it.
Well, I'm caught up now.
Because Will quit the show.
So
period.
so I go, this is a game called 5 questions. I'm going to ask you 6 questions. The high score used to be 7.
But Will quit the
But
show.
Will quit the show. That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Boom.
Don't edit that. Let's let people hear how I progress.
Yeah, I agree.
in getting that right
I'm
from
with
now
you.
on.
I'm with you.
Okay, let's do that. All right, guys, here we go. Question number 1 will, of course, be about the 1996 movie Mission Impossible. In the movie Mission Impossible, the first recognizable character is A, Charlie Sheen, B, Emilio Estevez, C, Carlos Sheen, or D, none of the above. Was it A, Charlie Sheen, B, Emilio Estevez, C, Carlos Sheen, or D, none of the above? The first recognizable character we see in the movie. Okay, so we're going to go to Woody first. Woody, what is the answer to that?
That would be Emilio!
Okay, he went with Emilio. Lucy, what did you say?
I said D, because I have not seen this movie.
She said D.
It's just a stab in the dark.
See, I felt like this, Lucy. I felt like you would have at least gone A or B because those are the only real people.
And also, Lucy, do you know that those 2 guys are brothers? Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen?
I do know that.
All right. And so is Carlos.
Well, Charlie, his name is Carlos.
No, Carlos is the 3rd brother.
No. Charlie's real name is Carlos Estevez.
The 3rd brother's name is Brian.
Brian Miller. All right, we're going to go to question number 2. Right now, it is Woody with a 1-0 lead over the lovely Lucy Murray. Here we go. Question number 2. In the movie Mission Impossible, the theme song was once featured in a video game. Was that video game Impossible Mission? A, Impossible Mission, B, Spy Hunter, or C, Mission Impossible? Or D, both B and C? We'll have to go to Woody first. Woody, what is the answer to that question that you came up with?
I'm going to go with C.
He went with C, Mission Impossible. And Lucy, what did you say?
I said C.
I'm sorry, you're both incorrect. The correct answer was, Rob?
D.
It was D.
Yes.
Spy Hunter and Mission Impossible.
That's a context clues one because I knew it was in Spy Hunter, but I also knew if there were being a Mission Impossible game, they're not going to not put the song in there.
That's correct. Very good. Very good by, now, I'm sorry, I can't award you any points because you are on the show today, Rob, but thank you very much for your insight.
I forgot to clap for Woody on the first
It is one to, okay, remember that one time that Woody got 1 point? All right. All right, so it is now 1-0. It's Woody with a commanding lead going into question number 3, which, of course, is about the movie Mission Impossible. In the movie Mission Impossible, towards the end, on what car of the train is the money located? Woody, let's go ahead and go to you, since you have seen the movie and you are not writing it down.
It is the baggage car.
All right, he said the baggage car. And Lucy, what did you write down?
I said car 3.
Bless her heart.
Ironically enough, the right answer.
Yeah, what if it was? Well, we don't know she's wrong.
Well, there was like a number 3 on the side of it. You didn't see it?
I'm sorry.
Neither did she.
She's got 2 chances. The third car
3
from the back.
or from
Yeah. I'm sorry, Lucy. That is incorrect. Woody, you are correct. It is in the baggage car. That is right. All right. Question number 4 will, of course, be about the movie Mission Impossible. In the movie Mission Impossible, the lead up to the most iconic scene in the movie where he drops and almost touches the floor, that is caused by A, too much cold air in the air conditioner shaft, B, a snake, C, a rat, or D, the smell of pepperoni pizza. Let's go ahead and go to Woody first. Woody, what is the answer to that question?
Well, you almost had me with the pepperoni pizza, but I'm going to go with rat.
You went with rat, and then Lucy, what did you say?
A.
She said too much cold air in the shaft. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Woody has once again gotten that one right.
We've all had that problem before,
Woody. Woody with a commanding lead. 3-0 going into question number 5. In the movie Mission Impossible, towards the end of the movie, Jim and Ethan meet back up after Jim is supposedly dead. In what country does that meeting happen? All right, let's go to Woody first.
That'd be the UK.
All right, let's go to Lucy.
Also UK.
Yeah, she said they both got it right. Give it up for the...
She got it a little more right because he was too broad. She said England.
It was Leeds.
It was England.
Leeds.
It wasn't.
He could have meant Cardiff, which is in Wales.
Right.
Or
Could have meant
Edinburgh.
that part of Ireland.
We've got to give it to him, though.
We're gonna give it to
I'm
him.
giving him the UK. All right, it is 4-1. Lucy, it's not looking good. But we now go to Rich with Rich's bonus question.
Here's the task. List all 6 Mission Impossible movies in order, leaving out the ones I have made up. Here they are. Mission Impossible 3, Mission Impossible Fallout, Mission Impossible 4, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible Under Siege, Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, and Mission Impossible 2. List those in order, leaving out the ones I made up.
I think I have those
There's
ones.
2 I made up.
I'm a little worried about Woody having to do this by memory.
He's a trained soldier. He's got this.
Okay, you got
He's
it.
he's not a soldier. He's a Marine.
Do you guys?
I got you, buddy.
Do you guys?
All right. 3, Fallout. 4, Ghost Protocol, Under Siege, self-titled or something?
Yeah, self-titled.
Self-titled, Rogue Nation, and 2.
All right.
In order, leave out the 2 I made up.
Lucy has finished writing. She's finishing touches right now. And let's now go to Woody. Go ahead, Woody.
All right, you got Mission Impossible.
Yep.
Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 3. Want to say Fallout, Ghost Protocol, and Rogue Nation.
Got it. All right. Lucy?
Okay, Lucy.
I said Mission Impossible 2, 3, 4 and then Ghost Protocol.
Okay, you're missing one more.
Under Siege.
Okay. You're both wrong.
Yeah.
Woody just had him out of order, so he's closest. But
3 comes before 2.
It's 1, 2, 3, Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and then the new one coming out as you're about to listen to this next Friday, Fallout.
I gotta be honest, I thought that was a trick question.
I thought Ghost Protocol was made up for
I
sure.
thought it was all made up. I thought it was just Mission Impossible 1, 2, 3, 4. The end.
I actually thought it was a trick question another way. That I didn't remember there being a 4, and I thought 4 was just named something else. That's another trick question.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Well, the point is both of you guys missed that. We do have a 4-1 lead with Woody going into... Did we have a super hard question?
We do.
We
That
do.
was a
Who's
pretty
going to
hard
read
question.
that?
Not for fans.
So Uncle Robert is here.
Uncle Robert's going to read this
Uncle
one?
Robert
All right.
is here with the super hard question. Now, Lucy, you're going to get to answer this. If you get this right, you win. Doesn't matter what your score is. That's it. So we'll send it over to Uncle Robert right now.
All right, now this is a question that I'd asked on the Match Game 1974. Name the European city in Mission Impossible that also was featured in Casino Royale, a James Bond film.
Ooh, Prague.
Yeah.
Wow, she won.
She got it right.
You got it. Did you just completely guess?
Did she pull that out of her ass?
Did you know that? Or something?
How did she know that?
No, I didn't know that. I guess.
You guessed Prague?
Holy
Guesses Prague.
So here's the thing. It doesn't happen a lot, but Lucy comes in with the Hail Mary and Woody's driving cross country, sitting in Monroe, Louisiana in a McDonald's parking lot.
Kicks ass, watch the
Kicks
movie.
ass, watch the movie.
He looks
and
pissed.
She just comes in with just like fancy workout headphones on and is just like, you know.
Didn't even have time to take them off.
See you later. Hit the
Prague,
showers.
Prague, I'm out.
It was a little quick to answer.
Yeah, it was quick compared to her other ones.
Well, congratulations, Lucy. You know, Woody, you're not a loser, but you didn't win, did you?
Did you text Lucy the answer?
I don't have her number.
Oh.
Hey, seriously, to both of you guys, thank you so much for your patience tonight. Woody, safe travels on the drive. Good luck there in the Carolinas. And Lucy, we will see you again before long, and y'all be safe, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye, guys.
There he is.
So, why don't we quietly get out of here onto a plane? I can understand you're very upset.
Kittredge, you've never seen me very upset.
All right, Hunt. Enough is enough. You have bribed, cajoled, and killed, and you have done it using loyalties on the inside. You want to shake hands with the devil, that's fine with me. I just want to make sure that you do it in hell.
Here we go. Oh, my.
I got a question, though.
Yeah.
How fast does chewing gum soak up water enough to become sticky?
Yeah, I didn't think about that until watching this particular watch. And this one, I was just like...
Oh, well, it's not chewing gum, though. It's an entirely different...
But it's not sticky.
You don't know that. They never told us whether it was or wasn't. This actually
Okay,
falls
then
into
why
the-
did he hit the glass?
I don't know, to blow up the... I don't... To make
No,
a dramatic effect.
He hit the glass to make it
100%
wet.
hit the
so
glass
that we,
to make it wet.
Right.
Exactly.
So that we would go, oh, he wet
Yeah,
it.
he
why,
moistened it up.
why would the glass have... Oh, you mean on the table?
Yeah,
I thought
so
it
he
was just...
hit
Honestly,
the-
I thought it was just in his way.
No, he was
As he
hitting
was
the
throwing
glass
it.
of water to make the gum sticky.
Correct.
Oh,
so
I
that
didn't
it
know
would
that.
stick.
I thought it fell under the version of, like, Star Wars shit, where it's like, doesn't matter, it works. You know, like...
Yeah.
That's what I thought
Yeah.
when I upon the other viewing, but you know.
Now, how come he goes straight to Angelina Jolie's dad's hotel, and nobody else in the world knows where that is?
No, that was their headquarters. They were told to go there
That
at
was
4
their-
a.m. if
yeah.
shit went bad. That's where they were doing
I know,
their
but
briefing.
why is that a secret from... Why wouldn't the uppers know about that shit?
Maybe when they send them out to do their stuff, they're like, only you guys know about
It
this.
was probably
Plausible
operational.
deniability.
Just, here's the thing.
I'm going to be
We're
honest.
running the op. We're going to meet here. It's not something that Langley's going to know about.
I'm going to be completely honest. I did not expect you guys to have an answer for that.
Oh, shit. It was rhetorical?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, I'm glad you fucking did, but I was sitting there going, there's no fucking way this place. Like, and like,
yeah, I can see that.
We're
They're
on the
not
same,
going
I
to
think
tell
we're on the
everybody.
same thing, right? It's their operation.
Right.
Keep it within them. That way nothing can leak. It's almost like a jury duty. You know? You don't talk about the shit so that no one can have any
It's just
sort
like
of influence on it.
It's just like jury duty.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean?
I'm trying to put
I'm
that
making
together.
sense there. No, when
No, it made
you're
sense.
told not to speak
But it's
about it
just-
so that no one can have any influence
Yeah.
on your decision making.
I'm
So
trying- okay.
for the few of them,
Yeah.
they're probably told to keep this between them.
It's also probably
so that
like,
no
why would they
outside
need to know that?
influences can-
Like, it's just that's just something that each operation does on their own. They have a safe space. They pick it on the spot, so no one else could know about it.
This guy's on an expense account, and he's renting these things on a fucking credit card.
Well, they
that the-
find a paper trail if they need. They just didn't have to look into it yet. It's all happening real quick.
Yeah, it's all. It's
Maybe that's it. I
doing
feel like
business,
it's-
business.
Yeah, it's not like on Ant-Man where he learned karate in like fucking 3 days.
He evolved his karate. He learned some tricks.
The ants showed him something.
Now, if you've never heard,
You're making fun of this scene, but this movie was sold on 2 scenes. This was one of them, and then the hanging in the white room was
we
the
know
other one.
which one.
Yeah.
The other one is.
And he did this stunt on his own, and that it was really lame looking when you think about it.
I always thought that the other big stunt scene was him jumping onto the train from later on with the explosion of the helicopter and him flying onto the train. That's the other iconic stunt moment, I thought.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about this one as much with the stupid glass.
Well, no, this was a big deal on the promos.
I think
on the trailers, this was.
You know why? Because it looks
I don't
like he's
remember that.
jumping off a goddamn building.
Yeah, but he's jumping off a sidewalk.
He's jumping out of a fucking exactly. He's jumping out of a fucking window display onto the fucking sidewalk, and I better run away from this fish tank.
But it was,
which has magically flooded an
It is
entire
pretty-
restaurant.
It is pretty crazy. It was like
lot of fish were in there.
16,000 gallons or whatever it was.
So many gallons.
Of that were falling above him.
Yeah.
On down, he had to jump out, and then it blew right as he was jumping out of it. So it was a dangerous stunt that he did.
Right.
But this was like the first stunt that he did that then took on a life of its own. Now in all of his movies, he does all of his, not all, but most of his
He
own
does most
stunts.
of it. And again, I
which is
give
pretty
him that.
awesome.
No, I think
Was
that's
there a sea
on the
turtle
side-
in there?
Him on the side of the plane
I saw a sea
is
turtle.
insane.
It's insane. I agree.
That's crazy, and it came across really well on
I
film.
totally agree. I 100%
So I
agree with
like
you.
that he does that. And if he
I do too.
dies, who cares? I'm just kidding. I don't want him to die, but
Jeez.
at the same time,
Okay,
he is a
let's-
Scientologist.
Let's dial that one back a little bit.
They're
I'm
dead.
just saying. Yeah,
I
we'll
was
get
gonna-
a call.
I was gonna go with-
Someone will tell he's dead,
He's
and we'll be
dead.
fine.
I was gonna go with Greg's dead, but I feel like that was getting way too insensitive. I got cousins and shit, right?
Right.
Oh, what was I gonna talk about? Okay, so here's where I was headed with this.
All right.
If you've never watched or listened to, by the way, we stream these. So just go to JarrettGoesToTheMovies.com and you can either watch this or listen to it. But obviously, if you're listening right now, thank you. Again, if you've never listened to a Tom Cruise podcast on this show, I don't want to ruin it for you, but I'm going to have to. Because all I could think about was this. And I didn't know before. And I think I found out on Top Gun.
Mm-hmm. It was.
So Tom Cruise's top row of teeth are way the fuck off center.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look directly below his septum, there's a tooth, not a gap. It seems like you're raising your hand with some information, Rob.
You brought him. You septum.
Well, Anthony Mangoya, his sister, used to do Tom Cruise's dental work, and she's the one that brought that to my attention. 'Cause I
Wait,
was-
what? Okay,
Yeah.
Anthony Mangoya is the drummer for Patent Pending. All around amazing. He's like the MacGyver of punk rock. Okay? True story. Go ahead.
His sister used to do his dental work. Used to do dental
Like
work.
clean his
on
teeth, not align them.
Something. Well, I hope not. And I remember saying something to the effect of like, jokingly, like, "Oh, are my teeth as nice as Tom Cruise's?" And she goes, something a lot of people don't realize, his like front 2 teeth are off and the one's centered.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she was like, "And you'll never unsee it."
No, you can't.
You can never
unsee it.
unsee it again.
Oh yeah.
I opened about 1,000 people's eyes to that on the Top Gun episode.
Man, I had no idea.
I never even knew that was a thing, and I've like realized that friends of mine have that, and I like stare at it.
You know, you're looking at everyone's teeth. I've looked at my own 100 times and be like, I hope I don't have it.
Here's the crazy part. Here's the craziest part about it. If you watch Outsiders, he doesn't have those teeth. He doesn't have these pristine white teeth. These are all what do they call them?
Veneers.
Veneers. Because his teeth are fucked up. They're small, tons of space in it. Like that's not CGI. That's not something he's stuck in. You can't hide parts of your teeth on a film. Like they have to not be there.
What's veneers? Is that where they chisel them all down?
They chisel them down and then just put a bunch of fake teeth. I know someone. I know someone who did that. He made a shit ton of money, and then told me he had every single one of his teeth blasted down, and then every single one's a fake thing. Every tooth in his head.
Yeah,
is a veneer.
Jennifer has veneers. Did you know that? Jennifer
no,
Gant, all of her teeth are fake. She had them
Do you think chewing?
There's been someone on this show that has veneers.
So do you
Probably
think
takes getting used to,
do you
right?
think chewing?
Let's think of people that Rich
But
brought
it's
on
like,
the show.
but it's like if you think about this, like chewing with dentures is supposed to like suck. Like you don't really.
No, it's the same. The veneers.
Are you sure?
Your nerves are still there. They just like attach. It's just different.
Yeah, they just shave all the
like an
outside, and then they make room enough to put like little porcelain chiclets in there.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get it for him.
Ethan, you're not making any sense.
We were just
Whoever the
about to
mole
have
is.
sex.
I think goes by the name of Joe. I can't find him, but if he knows I have a knock list, he'll find me.
I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to Kittredge myself, and I'm going to tell him you had nothing to do with this.
Claire, if you're not dead, he's going to assume you're with me.
That's how my emails show up.
Same.
I would have launched my phone out of a window.
Like your hot pocket's ready.
The message is for Job.
That's right.
And there's a stamp on it.
Right.
Well, it's mail.
Job at book space of space Job.
This is not how email works. Holy Jesus.
No.
For the IMF, it does.
As soon as he started typing Max at Job, and then he hit a space, I'm like, why is he hitting a space? And then he hits a 3. And then he hits a colon. I'm like, you can't have a colon or a space. And then it's like just 314. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then he's just sending it out into the ether. And then someone that isn't
has captured it.
Because it's not like he knew what the email address was.
No.
He just was putting words together that were like keywords.
He's gonna
and he's gonna email the keywords out, and then someone's gonna see those keywords and go, "Oh wait, that's an interest of mine. I'll read this email."
It's pretty much
and
like
then
you put
reply
a
to it.
hashtag out on Twitter.
Yes, that's exactly what it seemed like he was doing. He's like just hashtagging on Twitter. Maybe someone will be interested in the same thing that I'm interested in. Click on it and then reply to me. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
The best quote, by the way. That is a fucking good quote by you.
What?
About that? That's that commercial that we love with the old
no,
ladies.
I fucking say that all the time.
Same.
Like
all
by myself
the
in my
time.
house, and I'll be arguing with no one.
Yeah.
And I'll say that's not how this works.
That's not how any of this works. It's the fucking great. It's like
Her posting stuff on the actual wall.
Yeah.
Is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It is
in my
one
life.
of the funniest commercials that's ever fucking happened ever. Do you know what we're talking about?
I'm gonna unfriend you.
No clue.
So there's like it's essentially like a what?
Play the video. Yeah, play it. You can Google it.
Oh, play. What
it's
was
not,
the?
It's not how this works. Facebook wall. I bet probably.
Instead of mailing everyone my vacation photos, I'm saving a ton of time by posting them to my wall.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's so quick. It's just like my car insurance. I saved 15% in just 15 minutes.
I saved more than that in half the time.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
15 minutes for a quote isn't how it works anymore. With eSurance, 7.5 minutes could save you.
She knew all along.
It's so me and Casey used to watch.
Unfriend you.
Me and Casey used to watch that shit and literally die
That's the best
laughing.
one ever.
Oh my god! I mean, like we would both be crying, and we would rewind it and like watch it over and over because they're the perfect old ladies too. There's like the friend that's just like I just agree with everything.
Oh yeah, one of them didn't say a word.
Yeah. Well, every old lady trio has like the one that's just like, I just think everything's great all the time. It's so fucking great.
It's so good.
And then the oblivious one, and then the one with the smart son. All right. So I did want to point out that much of this movie and several scenes of this movie are shot as POV and point of view.
Yeah.
And I wondered if you would just hate this movie because of that, because you hated that band so fucking much.
That's so true. You really did.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have broken Rich.
Roadhouse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, 10, or 11. It's the Richter scale again.
Who's Max?
Max is the older lady who at the end wants to blow the dude for some info and shit.
She straight up says it.
She straight up just says, I probably have some... I'm going to be honest.
You would have done it.
I would.
I know.
For sure.
She was not unattractive.
No, when she got in Tom Cruise's face the first time, I'm just like, dude, just take her in the bathroom and just bang her. and you know what? Set that fucking long-haired dude that fucking looks like a wrestler, like outside the door to
what was that guy's deal?
He
was useless in that movie.
100%. And we're going to talk about that guy in just a second. All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You want me to play
We're
it again?
not doing Max.
Okay.
We're doing Emmanuel.
So who is that?
She's the French girl.
Claire?
Claire.
Yeah.
Claire.
Yeah.
Claire.
Okay. Emmanuel.
Just call her John Voight's wife.
Okay, John Voight's wife. Hair.
Wait, does that mean she's Angelina Jolie's mom?
Stepmom.
See what I did there?
You could do that.
She has the lips in this
Yeah.
picture.
Hair 11, eyes 11, nose 11, mouth 11, face 11. She has a perfect face hair combo thing. That was all.
I thought her hair was kind of like a little.
No, I mean it was full. It was brown. It was just the times, right?
I just thought
the
her.
times.
I really felt like her hair
No,
was kind
she's
of
got
thin.
naturally kind of fuzzy, fine hair.
Okay, then
I thought it was too
let me
fine.
change it. Let me change it then.
I thought her hair was too fine.
It had no substance.
It's too thin.
Right?
Yeah.
9. I'll give her a 9.
Oh, we fucking demoted her 2 points.
Yeah, take that.
Wait,
We fucked up the calendar.
It was 11 out of what?
The calendar.
I did 11 out of 11.
With the spinal tap.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
Arms 10, boobs 6, a respectable 6. Waist 9, ass 11. Her ass is pretty amazing. Legs 8. Overall, I give her 11. I find her very attractive. The problem I had with her personally was her voice was annoying as shit.
God, that's true.
Terrible.
Maybe we need to add that in.
Hey, she's not here for you to judge.
No, that's exactly what she's here for this. So it was a 10. I think it's probably like a 9.7, 9.8 now that I demoted her a
That's
little bit.
pretty fucking high.
Yeah,
She's
that is
hot, though.
I feel like something's going on with you because I feel like you've been like ranking people a lot higher than you used to. Like,
Wait,
you're just
did
like
you
in a
actually
good
do
mood.
the math on that? And that's the actual average of all those?
All right, so just and actually for Rob,
it's the Richter scale.
but also for Rob. Okay,
Yeah.
why don't you just give everybody, because again, not everybody listens to every episode.
All right, so in the Caddyshack episode, there was a poster on the wall in the locker room of the caddies, and it was a scale for rating women, and it was this 12-point scale where they would rate certain aspects of the body, and then average them all out, and that's how you know if you're with someone you should marry or whatever. So I thought that the 12-point scale was pretty offensive to women. So what I did is I came up with my 11-point scale.
What did you get rid of?
Like feet or something like that. So since that episode, we've been doing this like almost every episode of rating the...
And the ladies that listen love it.
Yeah, it's very popular with the ladies.
No, they do not like it.
No, nobody likes it. It's super offensive.
Also, I would have kept feet.
Of course
I
you
know
would.
you
You're
would.
weird.
Yeah.
We argued about that for a while.
It's hard to get like everybody's feet though. Like
You can't
I
see
wonder
the
though,
feet.
but I was actually thinking during this time, like, how did you do her boobs? Like
She's naked on the internet. You can look at them up right now.
but you
It has to be from the
always do it
movie.
from in this time or whatever.
Okay.
Also, send me that link.
I have a
They
buddy.
actually, she got a 6 because they kind of look in different directions. They're like, They're like a lazy eye.
She could have just been like leaned over a little.
I
Super
fucking
weird.
love lazy eyes. I love them.
I know. But not when they're boobs.
I have a
You
buddy
can't
back
call
home
them lazy boobs.
who instead of a scale, he does this just based on binary. He always says 1 or 0.
Would I or wouldn't I?
Not just would I or wouldn't I. It's just like, do I find her attractive or do I not find her attractive? And he's like, he finds his threshold and he's like, yes or no. And if he does, he'll approach said lady if we're like out at a bars.
Yeah.
That's it. He's binary.
Yeah, I think that's how I am in real life, but this is just having fun
This is
on
real
the
life.
show. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
Rich is body shaming.
What?
That is the question I want to ask Job.
I don't know Job any more than Job knows me.
Even so, I'm sure you could arrange an introduction.
Why should I?
Because I can deliver the actual knock list. The one you have is not only worthless, it's certain to be equipped with a homing device to pinpoint your exact location.
Mm-hmm.
Boot it up. In anywhere from 30 seconds to 10 minutes, you'll have Virginia farm boys hopping around you like jackrabbits.
She's been there before.
It's easy to say the disk is worthless when you say I can't look at the information and see if it's worthless. Not a tenable position, sir.
Okay, use it. But I'd suggest you pack first.
Well, he warned her. You know?
3 things.
Yep.
I want to see what she looks like when she was younger.
Really pretty. I found
You
pictures.
pulled that up?
Yeah, I did.
And the guy in the background with the long hair, was he the guy from Die Hard?
No, but he looks just like him.
He does.
And that's what I actually wrote down. I'm like, Tom Cruise is 100% going to fight this fucking guy. It's going to happen. And that guy ends up being like a dad on Disney shows and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy?
He's Good Luck Charlie. He's
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
he's heavier. He's like bigger now, though, right?
Richard.
Bigger.
He's beautiful.
I thought he was in Nelson.
You can't see that far. Don't pretend.
There she goes.
All right, and then
Just like an angel.
And then 3, he asked for $150,000.
Yeah.
And they act like this is a lot of money in this world. Which
I was wondering that too. I'm like, how much do these people get? Maybe he's like really underpaid for this clearly very dangerous job.
Yeah, doesn't he make that a year?
I
like,
didn't know.
why-
He's asking for that because he's supposed to appear to be working for someone else. Like
That's correct.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
you work
personally
for
want that money.
$500,000 or $1 million.
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
work for $150,000.
No, but he's trying to line it up with what the other dude did, 125.
Yeah, but why would the other guy work for 125? He could just get a regular job.
He
for
did it.
that.
He got 125 to frame his parents, but at the end of the day, when he comes back with the disc, he gets $6 million. What Tom Cruise did is he asked for 150 and then 10 million. So he's playing it right.
He's playing it up.
I didn't hear
Just
the
a
10
little
million
something on
part.
top.
That
Oh, yeah,
happens
yeah.
in the car. That happens in the car later.
But he didn't ask for the 10 million right there. So
Right
he's just
there,
like
he's asking for, like, a deposit.
150,000.
But he's playing it correctly because basically, if he just went in and he goes dryly, I want $150,000. So obviously, they're like, okay, the fuck do you want $150,000 for? Do you know what I mean? Like they don't even know why.
That's why they
he
didn't
wants
take him. If he had said 5 million right off the bat, they probably would have taken him a little serious.
No,
because it wouldn't have lined up with the
exactly.
other. Exactly.
He's basically trying to one up Job.
I understand that, but I'm just saying in this world, that amount of money just sounds piddly.
At this point in the movie, I was
Also,
watching
it's
a lot of
1996.
Instagram stories,
I'd say that 20 something
deleting my emails.
I'd say 150,000 20 something years ago is more than it is now.
Yes, that's true, but not that much more.
Well, you know,
It'd be like
back
saying-
then a movie
it
was
just felt Austin
a movie
Powers-y,
was a
where
quarter.
he's like, $1 million, and they're all
Well,
laughing
back
at him.
then, the motion pictures were only a quarter.
Tell us about
Right.
Hey, tell us about 1996 and like what prices were, Uncle Robert.
Well, you take the train. They'd actually pay you. They deposit you a nickel to take the train, and you'd get it back to buy a loaf of bread.
That's so funny that you noticed the long hair dude too, because I did as well. Now, why wouldn't she have already booted up the disc? Why now? Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they just been like? Because you know, it's like
That's not how discs work.
no, you
either.
well also, but you get the fucking disc, you're like, throw that motherfucker in. Let's see what we got, right?
What were they checking for? The temperature of the disc or something? Like if,
No, that's later. The temperature thing.
No, I
That's not
couldn't
yet.
figure that out.
That's
The
silly.
numbers thing.
all of
Sean,
that's silly. None
No.
of that is a thing.
I could not figure like Okay, it's only 23. Okay, well, there's nobody around. Now there's 46.
Like literally, it's not like they have to do this in the split second. They could take that disc apart. It's a disc. It's a spinny. It's a record inside. So if they could take everything except for the record and go put it in another floppy disk container and put that in a computer. So if there's any kind of device that's calling to Langley, then they could throw that in the trash.
Right.
Well, no,
take
that
the
might be
disc
in
that
the
has
floppy
the
part.
data on it.
What might be in that?
No, I'm saying you literally take apart. You take everything except for the record the record that's in the inside and go put that in something else.
This is where you're getting to Star Trek, where I go to Star Wars, right?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you're getting there's this a beautiful clip someone put side by side of the dude reading Rainbow Guy from Star Trek with the glasses.
Yeah.
You know,
Geordi.
Yeah, and and it's like it's him literally going through the processes for their ship to take off in a warp speed, and he's like, coolant like reacting at maximum war, like all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And he's like walking around like making sure everyone's got their shit going. He's like pushing buttons and doing it, reading shit, and then he's like, and we'll go, and then they take off, and then it's Han Solo and Chewie, punch it.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? You see, that's it.
That is so true.
The disc can tell them, right? That's it. That's all that matters.
But I know how discs work. I don't know how hyperspace works.
I'll tell you
no
what.
one knows how
No.
hyperspace
You're
works.
right.
That's the problem.
I have the hardest time though, because again, just all this sexual tension between Ethan and Claire. There's too much sexual tension.
It's too much.
It's fucking weird.
It's fucking weird.
And not that I paid a lot of attention, because at this point in the movie I was watching a rat take a shower. But
oh my God, have you seen that?
Well,
we're gonna post it on
That's
the movie.
old. That's like weeks and weeks old. Like months
it's
old.
who gives a shit? Oh my God, it's the
It's
best
great.
thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh my!
It's better than Mission
It's
Impossible.
the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's the best thing I watched today.
So I mean, but
that's
her,
the rat of Nim, by the way.
her husband just died. Like her husband just died, and even if she's supposed to be seducing him, which we'll find out later or whatever, he's
supposed to believe it. She
this
wants
is-
him to believe it.
This is his mentor. You know what I mean? Like, even here, there wouldn't be any
But
sexual
you know
tension.
they had
part
sexual
me-
tension. This
part of
isn't
me's
the
like, they
first
did it
moment
before.
of sexual tension.
Yeah, part of me's like, they totally did it before.
They,
This never happened.
Oh,
Right off the bat, when he's giving her shit about coffee, I was like, are they flirting?
Yeah.
Or
You know
when
what I
she
mean?
wasn't she the one in the bed with the fake blood, the looked horrible, that was all sleepy for some
Yeah,
reason?
and he's on
her.
all up in her. So it's like, why are they?
Right,
They're
they've
setting
already
that up,
been
and
in
it doesn't
this. Yeah,
make
they've
any
already been
sense.
doing it.
Like, the
I
entire
thought that was
movie
his
that
daughter. First of all, she was a little young for John Voight.
but she's older than Angelina Jolie.
Hey, age is just a number.
Hey,
that's
guys.
true.
You too.
So Ving Rhames and the French guy, and that guy is literally in every movie.
Wait,
ever.
were you just supporting James Gunn?
What?
Is that what
What?
you were doing? Age is just a number.
No, legal age is just a number.
Okay, legal age. Got it.
Now, inside the Black Vault, there are 3 systems operating whenever the technician is out of the room. The first is sound sensitive. Anything above a whisper sets it off. The second system detects any increase in temperature. Even the body heat of an unauthorized person in the room will trigger it if the temperature rises just a single degree. Now that temperature is controlled by the air conditioning coming in through an overhead duct 30 feet above the floor. That vent is guarded by a laser net. The third system is on the floor and is pressure sensitive. The slightest increase in weight will trigger the alarm. And any one of these systems, if set off, will activate an automatic lockdown. Now, believe me when I tell you, gentlemen, all 3 systems are state of the art.
And you really think we can do this?
We're going to do it.
Well, as we know now, the government has some of the worst security protocols in tech, so this is ridiculous. But what are they storing in there?
The NOS
Okay,
list or whatever.
So
What is it called? Is that the one? Knock list. That's it.
why? Like what? It's okay. So there's a computer inside this room that's not connected to any other system anywhere.
Well, it might be.
right?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what they said. They said you can't hack into it because you have to be in the room on that terminal
It's
to
not like
access
they're
that
not using
data.
Google Drive.
Right. So, what good is it if he's the only person that can come in there? Is he bringing in a list from somewhere else and typing them in and then burning the list? Like, what's happening?
That's
like,
what I was
why is
wondering.
this?
That's what I was wondering.
It makes no sense.
I was wondering, what is he doing in there? Okay, so there's a list on the computer. And
So
then
we can't even have like a poster, like a picture of his family,
What
or like
kind of work does he do? Just look at the
That room
list.
seems really
just
stressful.
gotta
Order the
list it or
list.
whatever.
Oh, I'm gonna do A's today. I'm gonna reorder these.
But no, I feel like that whole room is just secure storage, right? That would be like the most secure hard drive for the
I know,
CIA.
but what's the fucking point of him having
Right.
this access to the place and coming in like it's okay? I'm going to work and I'm gonna.
Why can't this be a list, printed out list, and put in a vault or something? Like, there's not. Like, a computer is storing millions and millions of lines of data. That's what how many agents could they possibly have? Not millions. They have enough to put on a notepad, maybe. Put that in a vault somewhere.
Yeah,
Well,
but
when they
why
started-
do
they
vault
need
can be
that
broken
compu-
into?
When they started running it, though, it was like a lot.
I mean, this is a vault, but they're like putting on it's like overkill. Like, the
It's
whole
a little
thing
bit much.
is crazy overkill.
Well, the good news is they dress as firemen, which you can get in anywhere, and obviously one guard with an Uzi will take you wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So they'll take you up there, and then while you're going up the, I guess, however they got to the, I'm sure they took the elevator because it was like on the 125th floor or some shit. Well, there's a whole meeting going on, like wondering where the fuck Tom Cruise is, right? And guess what? He's already in the building. They fucking did it. They're the firemen. They're really doing this, right? And then one of them disappears, and nobody notices. Guess why? Because life everywhere else is fine. There's a guy with an Uzi running down the hall with two firemen. Everybody else acting like everything's just great. And nobody fucking even looks at them when they run by and shit, right? And so the girl, she gets up, she dresses up as a hot chick. Obviously, you think she's a 9.78 or whatever. I think her voice to me, I don't really know your scale.
It was.
I'm gonna be honest.
Because her voice brings her down to a 5.
I just told her not to talk. Be fine. So then she dresses up as a hot chick, comes out, everything's great. She's got clearance for everything that she needs and all that shit. Now these other two are still dressed up as firemen, and they run into a room. Right? It's like a room where they are having to run into with the guy with the Uzi, and then one kick, and the guy is out. Now here's the thing.
Yep.
The French guy wants to stab him, but Tom Cruise says, hey, no body count, right? Thank God this guy stays fucking knocked out the entire time.
The entire time.
Because they're
They
in
didn't
this.
tie him up. They
Oh,
didn't do
no,
anything.
nothing. They're in there fucking another half hour at least, right?
Right.
And this guy's
I mean,
still
they had to
out.
crawl through the vents. They had
Everything.
to be
And
careful. It's
thank
like
God.
the whole thing.
Thank God he's still out.
Yeah, he's
Man, that was a hell of a kick, Tom. And then all of a sudden, Ethan is the ceiling fan in that room right there because he's going down or whatever. The guy comes in. He hasn't puked yet. Ethan is just floating above him.
That's
and
not a
he's-
thing, by
and
the way.
he's-
You can't be on the ceiling and not be noticed. Like, that's not a thing.
You can't be in the room with somebody and not be noticed, dude. Like you
Especially
can
a tiny white
you
octagon
can
where
feel
nobody's
people-
allowed to be.
And he was moving. It was just like, dude, it's like
I realized that
This
on
is
the
ridiculous.
on the camera, the 16:9 camera, it's not showing, but people have peripheral vision. I can see. I'm looking straight ahead at you right now. I can see the entire ceiling above.
we were
me.
watching, and Rob just goes like,
"Yeah."
He's like, you get that weird feeling. There's just a dude floating 3 feet above your head. Like, it's so true.
Yeah,
like,
but
you know, even if you didn't see him, you'd probably have that little sixth sense. It's like there's a dude literally
right there,
And there's
One-
so much
He's
not
so close.
noise in that room that you can't not make noise. I
No.
don't care what you're doing.
Right.
Like, just the line spinning would make a noise.
Maybe there's like a
completely
psychological
silent
analysis here. Maybe he did know, but he didn't want to admit that he knew.
Could
You know what I
be.
mean? Like
he was just
some deep-rooted
that.
issues with his dad.
Solved it.
He was just that sick. All right, so a rat gets in
good.
the shaft or whatever the guy eats
After
it.
showering.
After taking a shower.
Yeah, after showering. And then we get the famous drop scene. It's the most famous scene of this. It was this scene was fucking groundbreaking, right? Now the thing that I didn't remember, I thought he was like he fucking dropped in and he just
Jared.
was what?
Who was it?
Jarrett. It has to be Jarrett.
Yeah, I farted for sure.
God damn it.
I don't smell anything yet.
It's
Sorry,
Oh,
you
there it
wanna-
is.
It's
you
circling
want to take a
around.
break?
It's really bad. Did you shit your pants?
No, I'm
What do you
good.
call this?
Okay.
Yeah, where's your fart kit that Rich got you for your birthday?
Yeah.
Where's the spray?
Okay, it's a 3-piece kit.
All right, so the famous drop scene, but I didn't remember that he like had to like. I just thought it was like, and he's just there, and he's just like,
Yeah, like a whole drop.
and he's just floating.
Well, that's
and
because
everything's
this
fine.
scene really paved the way for other movies to replicate it, but actually make it look cool.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because he goes, well, because I said I'd never seen this movie before. He goes, surely you've seen the scene, and I'm like, well, I've seen it like referenced a bunch, yeah.
Yep.
And then whenever I actually saw it, I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's
You
it.
know,
that was it.
it really, what he said at the beginning of the movie hit me like a ton of bricks, and it's so true. At the beginning of a movie, it's this whole other era seeming. It's like a 70s movie.
Yeah, right?
And then right in the middle, they sort of slowly transition into now it's this high-tech 90s action movie. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying though? Like,
Yeah.
it definitely
Changes
it
tone like pretty quick.
completely changes tone.
Once they get into the CIA, like
because
headquarters.
I mean I definitely noticed, like, especially with like how they started the movie with the sort of scenes from other episodes of them doing their missions. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That's very TV Mission Impossible. Like
Sure.
the beginning, like the way it started
It has
out,
an opening credits.
yeah, all that stuff was very TV show, and I felt like maybe, and I didn't think about this until you brought it up, but it maybe was a very deliberate. Let's take the '70s TV show, start with that same exact vibe, and then slowly through the movie, and then by the end, bring it to the '90s, and up to a modern time method of storytelling and also action scenes and everything. Maybe that was a very deliberate thing that they did.
Could be.
Or maybe the movie just sucked at the
That's
first
a good
part.
point,
Could
too.
be.
That's a really good point.
It definitely had it got a big knock for being very
Not good?
confusing. Yeah, I mean, it was a huge movie.
Huge.
Obviously,
it has 6 fucking sequels.
It's got another one coming out like this week. So,
But I don't think it got the sequels because this movie was regarded as a good movie or should have had a sequel. It was actually a surprise, I think, that the second one came about. And
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for Tom Cruise, it probably would have gotten it. But maybe he just said, look, yeah, that didn't go well, but we're definitely going to make this one better somehow. I don't know. But fuck, the newer ones
I have never
are
seen.
amazing.
I've never seen this one.
Some
but
of the best action movies out there.
Yeah, I've seen a few of the other ones.
The
I mean,
Ghost
I saw
Protocol was amazing. The Rogue Nation was amazing.
Which one is the airplane?
3 is really good too. That's the J.J. Abrams one. The airplane was Rogue Nation.
That was the most recent one.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that's the most
I don't.
recent.
And Casey says we didn't, but we definitely saw it.
I did not see that
Ghost
one.
Protocol was in. They were jumping or doing a lot of stuff in that tower in Dubai, and it's super high up, and they had sandstorms. It was really cool. It was great.
Second one I didn't like because John Woo did it, and it was just too.
Yeah,
it was
That's the
too-
worst.
Too much
I'm gonna say
ninja
it.
stuff.
Yeah,
But-
the second one was better than the first one.
Oh,
not nearly as good as the third one.
second and on, hands down better than the first one.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the second one had the motorcycle when they jump in the air and they.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's I think the
Yeah.
first one I ever saw.
And Ben Stiller did that remake of him like on the side of like the Rock for
Oh,
like the
yeah,
MTV
yeah, that's right.
Awards.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
3 and on, phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Some of the best action movies out there, for real.
Hauling Mom off to jail in shackles was an especially nice touch. He's in England.
Get MI5. Ethan, I want to assure you that my first order of business after you come in is to have these ridiculous charges against your family dropped and eliminated completely from their files. Now, if you come in now, we can lay down the charges against you as well.
Can I ask you something, Kittredge?
Certainly, Ethan.
If you're dealing with someone who's crushed, stabbed, shot, and detonated
5 members of his own IMF team.
How devastated do you think you're going to make him by marching Ma and Uncle Donald down to the county courthouse?
I don't know, Ethan. Why don't you tell me?
Austin. Well.
Okay, here you go, Jarrett. Trope.
Oh, this is a trope.
Yep. So a trope is a common plot device used by Hollywood. Them talking for a certain amount of time before he can get traced.
Lock on the location.
That's a trope. That's something you see in a bunch of movies. It's like, oh, he hung up before we could trace him.
Is it not real?
No, I don't know if it's real or not, but it's just a common trope that movies use.
I thought that when I was watching this, and I was actually thinking in my mind, like maybe this is one of the earlier on. This is, as far as I remember, this is one of the earlier on like examples of that, where they do that, where it's like locking the location. They like.
I don't know how far back that goes, but yeah.
Tracing phones though has been there forever. That's what they were trying to do.
It was big, and I think it was probably before that, because I think it was in the 80s too.
For sure, tracing phones.
Right.
It was always like keep them on the phone.
Yeah,
keep
the
kidnappers on the phone.
Right,
if you keep them like it used to be like 2 minutes or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, but now it's fucking instant, right?
Kidnappers always know though.
Yeah, I don't think it's a thing. Well, first of all, who has a landline?
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore.
We do actually.
So you
I
just
have no idea why.
You just triangulate.
I think it saves us money on our car
You're
insurance.
hitting a cell tower.
I don't know, but
at
I'm
this
trying
point.
to teach Everett about 911 and like the uses of it, and like he's not going to be able to get into your phone because yours is all fucked up, and like mine's always locked. So maybe the landline's important.
Well, don't leave him alone. How about that?
No, but like, what if we get murdered and he's just like in the house,
then
or
he's
you
fucked.
fall and hit your head, or
Yeah.
you call 911, so you get like a Dexter
He doesn't have a good life
situation.
ahead of him anyway, so it's.
Is it just become like a motivational speaker because of his like
Right.
triumphs over a horrible life?
It's something like that.
Nah, he's fucked.
Yeah.
First, he took out Jack at the elevator. He shot you on the bridge.
I think he was yelling. I've been shot. Oh. There it is. And he had to look up so the camera didn't show. Ethan.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, may I?
Yeah, go.
Because when that starts, what's funny is because as like the audience who, you know, you're supposed to sort of be in Tom Cruise's perspective of thinking like, oh my God, he made it out. Like he survived getting shot and falling off the cliff. He literally says to him like, yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah, he goes, so I managed to crawl to a safe house and.
But doesn't matter.
And then he just goes, anyway, what are we doing right now?
Yeah, so like, how do you
anyway.
expect him to sort of like believe that, especially even us as the audience, be like, oh yeah, you just brush past that, you're fine.
Well, when I first saw the gun being shot on the video,
it doesn't line up, right?
Well, I was like, why is he shooting himself? It's obviously his hand pointing back at himself. Like that is super obvious that was him pointing at himself.
Yeah.
When I couldn't remember anything about the movie, I was like, why is he shooting himself?
Right.
It
Why
was
not just do
obvious.
the blood? Because the gun had a silencer anyway. Like, why not just do
why
the
not
blood?
It'll make
and
a lot
then-
of sound,
Like,
though.
I
He wanted
turned
to make him believe it, you know?
I guess so.
You
Yeah, it
did
was
hear the
just-
shot, because when the shots go off, Tom Cruise like looks up earlier on, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But also, I don't like, I always thought that was kind of weird in that sequence, how they spoon feed it to you as it's happening. As he's learning,
Right.
you're learning the real truth of it, and it's like, then he does right away, because he's trying to tell him it's the other guy that did it, right?
Right. He's
So I thought they would like
someone
string
else.
you, yeah, but I thought they'd string you along with his narrative for a little bit. That would be more of like a now movie.
I
You
thought
know
it
what I
was
mean?
cool, though, how he corrected himself, too. He's like...
No,
But
could
how,
have been.
how would you have killed...
Oh, when he like kind of stops.
How would you
Well-
have killed her? And he has her press Claire, and then he takes Claire out of the picture. Oh, you
Because he wants her to be innocent.
Yeah, he wants her to be innocent.
Yeah.
So what the thing was
So-
working.
As he's putting all these pieces together, and then he said he even knew earlier, since the Bible part of it, he knew that. Why didn't he just fuck him up right there? Like, why did he let him go and then go their separate directions?
Because he has to clear his name, I guess. I don't know.
He could have fucking put him in a chokehold and called the cops and go, I just fucking solved the whole case.
He's not the Undertaker, you know? Like,
Yeah. I mean, at this point, though, he knows he's the mole.
Yeah, now
He
why
doesn't-
not just
But he
fucking
doesn't know
grab
who
his
Job
ass?
is, right? So isn't this a whole intermingled thing?
yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
You know? I mean,
I don't know why you'd just let him go and then hopefully by chance run across him in a train.
But then he ends up right because this is where I get kind of a little like not lost.
I don't think he knew that Jim was going to be on the train. That's
okay,
why
then
he's
that's
dressed
even worse.
as him.
He just let the guy go that killed all these people because he's so worried about the knockless thing.
I know, but yeah.
He's not as worried about the fact
Get
that
this
he
guy
killed
into
all of
custody.
his friends, right?
Yeah, I mean the biggest knock on this movie was it was confusing, and I agree it was confusing.
Yeah, agreed.
But I also remember watching the movie, coming out of it, and going, "That was pretty good," and then hearing about the confusion part and going, "I totally got everything. What's the big deal?" And I did understand it.
Yeah.
I understand that it can be how it could be conceived as confusing, but I enjoyed it. I understood the whole thing.
Yeah.
But that might be my.
But you're trying to keep up with everyone's like logic, and they're not all lining up.
Yeah.
Well, I think this whole meeting with Jim thing is insane. He's like, Claire can't know that I'm or that I'm alive, and then he's like, Lord knows what she's done to forget me or compete for the or to complete the job, meaning, maybe she blew you.
Maybe you grabbed her underboob aggressively.
Maybe you did. And then more sexual tension when she starts licking his hand for no reason when he gets up. So then we get to the train. Max gets the disc, tells him where the money is in the baggage car. And then, did we have wireless internet in 1996?
We hardly have it now.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck was that? The modem is not loading. It's like you're on a fucking train. You wait till you plug into Earthlink, like everybody else.
Yeah.
Don't fucking Jesus Christ. So
maybe they have phones on the train.
I did love the line that Max says to the guy, just like, "Did you check the batteries?" And he's just, "Yeah, of course I checked the batteries." It's like, just back in the day, everything was the batteries.
Yeah.
Like you got to check the batteries.
Yeah. That was fine.
That was CGI in the dark.
He also
Still
lost
fine.
about 50 pounds too.
Yeah.
Had some cotton in there.
Of course, I'm very sorry to hear you say that, Claire.
Ethan.
Yes. Ethan Hunt, darling. You remember him, don't you?
You knew about Jim.
Of course. Just exactly when he knew is something of a question. Mind telling me, Ethan? Before or after I showed up in London?
Before London. But after you took the Bible from the Drake Hotel in Chicago.
They stabbed it, didn't they? Those damn Gideons.
Why wouldn't have Tom Cruise heard his voice and got a goddamn gun out? And been like, "Hey, fuck you," like I've got a gun too.
He didn't bring a gun.
But he pulled like that huge power
I knew I
move,
forgot
like-
something.
That dude's
Jesus
like a
Christ.
real ass like agent, of like a impossible task forse. You think he'd always have a gun?
Seemingly impossible.
Yeah, so Claire's already walked past Kithridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't recognize her.
No.
It's her boss.
Right.
And basically, he's in this situation because he's trying to clear Claire or whatever, or because she blew him, or they like did it or something, or
I
what
don't
is
know
happening
anymore.
here?
They never say.
They
No.
needed to be on the train so that they could have the last scene. Basically, that's it.
How about when Jim says that he understood what Ethan is doing because he had tasted the goods?
Oh, that was the worst.
What a fucking terrible thing to say about your wife that you're about to shoot in the fucking chest.
Whoa, shit.
And also, why the fuck did he shoot her in the chest?
I think he did it by accident. Wasn't he shooting
No.
at Ethan?
No, he fucking shot her, right?
I think he shoots at Ethan, and then she gets in the way. It was an accident.
Man, I don't think so. I thought he just...
That's how I saw it, but
maybe that's why her boobs are
no
off to this side.
It's super weird because she goes, no, Jim, and then he repeats, no, Jim, and then shoots her in the chest, and then he takes off running.
Hello, Max.
My lawyers are going to have a field day with this. Entrapment, jurisdictional conflict.
Well, maybe we'll just leave the courts out of this one.
I'm sure we can find something I have that you need.
In a freak accident, a helicopter lost altitude, veered into a tunnel, and collided with a high-speed train on its way from London to Paris.
Can a helicopter fly in a tunnel? I googled. No, it cannot.
Also, that thing where the blade's like right by the front of his face or the back of his neck or whatever it is when he's laying there and it like gets real close.
Yeah.
And the dude's like holding it steady. Then like something stops him and like jolts him and like the helicopter goes up. That would have just cut his head off. Like it was right there. Like he was so close to it that like that sudden movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, helicopter blades are flimsy.
Yeah.
Also,
so they're constantly going up and down. They're not like a straight line.
It's not. Yeah.
Also, it's weird to offer the get out of jail blowjob after the guy tells you, "I'm not going to take you to jail."
I don't think that's what he was saying.
He said we're going to keep the courts out of this.
No, I think he means they're going to like do something.
Basically,
worse.
just lock her up somewhere else.
Yeah, like without the legal system being involved. Like
no,
they have
that's
the power
not
to
what
do
any
so.
of that means.
I don't think so either. I think he's going to let her go.
He's definitely going to let her go.
And then she goes, "I think there's something you want from me." Like,
yeah. It's basically, I'm going to give you some information on some other syndicate crime thing that you'll be able to go if you let me go.
So she's not offering a blowjob at all.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I didn't think she was
Damn it.
until you brought it up, and then I was like, but then
No, she
upon
sounds like
this
she's-
one, it
yeah.
sounded like it really did this time.
What's the
Seemed
guy
like
sitting
he
next to
was.
her going to do? Like tickle the balls?
doesn't
That's
have
his
to be
job.
there.
That's
wait.
what he's supposed to be doing.
You can wait outside.
You know?
Or does he go to jail? I don't, how does this work?
Tickle
I'm
the
new.
balls.
I'm new to
Tickle the balls, pinky in the butt.
I mean, if you have small hands, it doesn't have to be the pinky.
Excuse me, Mr. Hunt. Would you like to watch a movie?
No, thank you.
Would you consider the Cinema of the Caribbean? Aruba, perhaps.
Hey, so did you know who did this version of the song?
Is it Limp Bizkit?
No, it's the
That's what I was gonna say.
it's the two guys that you don't know the names of that are in the band U2.
The Edge.
No, that you know.
You know
them.
his name.
Oh,
the
no.
other guy and the other guy.
I don't know his actual
It's
name.
the bass player and the drummer.
Everybody knows their names.
Tom.
I don't know their names.
Selleck.
DeLong.
Selleck. Brady.
No, I don't know.
Tom Brady.
Really?
Yeah, it's they redid the song. That's them doing this part.
Nice. Well, this has been fun. Rob, thank you so very much for being here.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
You've looked like you were going to fall asleep the entire goddamn night.
That's not true.
That's his.
You're
That's
right.
his vibe.
I realize we're not done.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know.
Oh.
Thank you to everybody who shares our show. This week, thank you, Woody Chambers, Danny Stuckey, Chris Pulse, Ray Jimenez, Mark Ryan, Jay Burdett, Jake Bradford, Austin Mark Graff, otherwise known as Sweet Cheeks, and Joey Bishop. Thank you very. Oh my God, Joey Bishop, that's fucking nice. Thanks, Joey. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Let's get to a little bit of business before we end this.
Let's check the email box. Email us at jaredgoes-to-the-movies@gmail.com.
Rory Sweetman writes, "I love your podcast. DON done."
Nice. Thank you, Rory.
Barry Ferguson, the original and very best $1 supporter, writes, "Ahoy to you all, except Will, as he has quit the podcast." I found myself with some time on my hands last week and used this listening to the first two podcasts again. This was also due to seeing that it was the anniversary of BTTF's release. BTTF?
Back to the Future.
Oh, back to okay,
yeah.
Nice.
You have spoken of remaking the first podcast again to make it better. I don't think you need to, as the first episode it sets the tone for the many to come, and it's really not as bad as you think it was. I won't ramble, as I know you hate reading long emails. Maybe that's why no one sends them to you anymore. Because we had a little dry spell.
That is the perfect email. It really is.
Adam Sparks writes, you totally should do the Bill Murray's movie, The Life Aquatic, with Steve
Zissou.
Also, I hate those movies, by the way. Also, I've recently have started listening from hearing Jarrett on Lex and Terry.
Oh, interesting.
I wanted to know exactly how I would listen to the extra content if I became a Patreon subscriber. I actually emailed him about that.
Cool.
And then he emailed me back right after pledging $5 a month for the show, and he wrote this. I would like to share this touching moment. I had been listening to your podcast with my son. I got off work today and was listening to the Serendipity episode. I know I'm far behind, but I'd like to start at the beginning and see how the show progresses and binge on things that are good. But I will be pissed when I catch up and have to wait. But moving on, I had went and picked up my son from my mom's house. The podcast starts when I start the car, and the first thing out of Jared's mouth is, "You don't kiss an elbow until you've eaten her vagina."
The whole time you're reading this, I'm like, how old is the son?
Yeah, I was thinking the same
I
thing.
immediately hit pause, and we made the rest of the trip home in silence. So thanks for the memories that I have and will have from future episodes.
That's amazing.
Mitch Bergeron writes, "Hey, y'all, how's she hanging?" He's Canadian. I guess he's making fun of us. Well, I've been listening since Purple Rain, and I guess he didn't... Okay. I was listening since Purple Rain, and I always had a question I wanted to ask. Is there a movie that you guys can think of that sucks but has a killer soundtrack?
Purple Rain.
I think that's why he mentioned it.
I think people would want to say Trick or Treat, the metal movie that had Ozzy in it, but I actually really liked the movie, but that soundtrack was badass.
Wasn't that one with Dee Snider really good? The fucking Strangeland, the really horrible movie?
Yeah.
I never saw
Wasn't the
that.
music really good in that one?
Well,
Was
The
it not?
Crow
It's been a long
wasn't
time.
great. It wasn't a terrible movie. I mean, he died in the middle, so you kind of have to give it a little bit. But the soundtrack of The Crow was phenomenal.
Okay, personally, and not everybody will agree, Queen of the Damned. Didn't like the movie, liked the soundtrack a lot.
What was
it was a lot of corn, but it was still like...
No, it was just Jonathan Davis doing his own. He scored the whole movie.
Was it?
Okay.
I had
corn.
that soundtrack, and
Okay.
it was really good. But I didn't like the movie.
Yeah, the movie wasn't good.
And it sucks that she's dead now, but that she wasn't a very good actress.
I've never scored an entire movie, only just like we take breaks. But
Faye Stacy writes, "Hi guys, I've only just started listening to your podcast and I bloody love it. Please don't ever stop or change. It is so funny. I really didn't expect to learn so much about your cock and balls, but that's cool. I'm from Derby, England. Please visit Derby with BFS." I wrote Faye Stacy back, and then I got, "Oh my God, do you realize how overexcited I am by your reply? I may actually have to go and have a wank. I'm English. We don't masturbate. We wank. I look forward to hearing my name on the next
Maybe
podcast."
it was a dude.
but even girls wank. I mean, like everybody
in
wanks.
Okay.
You know.
So it could be a girl.
You know what was the name?
Faye Stacy. Faye.
That's got to be a girl.
Okay.
But I mean, like it's almost like girls jack off, you know, or like rub one out or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, they just have a wank.
I just want to let Faye know that you weren't talking to Jared. You were talking to me, and I'm sorry.
So a danger wank is when you're a teenager.
Faye Stacy's definitely a girl.
Okay.
Well, a danger wank is when you're in your room and you yell for your mom to come here, and you try to fucking finish before she gets in there.
That's worse.
That's a fucking thing.
But
no,
that's
it's worse because
worse.
fucking Jared does that all the time, and his mom's never even here. It doesn't
That's
make any
true.
sense.
Yeah, I'll just call her.
He's just screaming for his mom in there all the time.
And she's in the bathtub going, "Your mom is not here. She does not live here."
Some weird shit.
Work.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Silent Sean. You're, as always, the greatest ever. Man, this guy works so fucking hard, stays up so late, and doesn't even drink. It's fucking weird. Rob, we're glad you're here, man. Good luck on everything you got going on. And Casey, I love you. I'll see you. I see you right now. I'll see you in a minute. And Rich, it's fucking good to be back.
I like you more than a friend.
And Rich, we'll see you down the road.
I like you more than a friend.